This auction today. Thank you, Lord, for this wonderful heat that we have today. Bless the farmers in this area. Please give us rain, and we ask that you give us a productive day. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin with the auction, just the rules for the auction. You have to be registered to bid today. If you are not registered, we cannot accept your bid. Registration is still open. You can go there to the broker gazebo and you can still register. Please be registered for the auction. We cannot accept your bid if you are not registered today. Please note, today on all items, there's 10% commission plus VAT. So it's your bid price plus 10% commission plus VAT. That is your total price. The auctioneer will say where VAT is not applicable, should there be items that have no VAT. Ladies and gentlemen, this auction is not subject to finance. That means we do not stop you from getting finance. We ask that you get your finance in place before you bid. If you will be held responsible if you bid and your finance falls through, you will still be liable for the full amount. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please make payment within 24 hours so that we can load everything and get your items to you as fast as possible. But please make payment within 24 hours. If registration papers are applicable on an item, the auctioneer will highlight such. Transfer of ownership should take place with 21 days after the item is bought. There is a R1,000 admission fee that will be charged for the buyer. All the information on the items are being sold as given to us by the seller, and broker auctions will take no responsibility for incorrect information. That being said, for the items that are in Heidelberg, items that could not be viewed today, we do say subject to viewing. Meaning to say, if we say an item is in a good condition and it is not in a good condition, then we will cancel the transaction, no questions asked. Please note, this is for mechanical issues. We will not be helping you if there is damage to paint or your mirror is not sitting the right way. Please note, this is any mechanical issue, but we will try and give you the correct description of the item as far as possible. Make sure the condition and the information before you bid. All items will be sold foot stewards. You will have until the 20th of November 2025 to remove your items that you bought today on auction. The loading and transport of the items is the responsibility of the buyer. Broker auctions will, however, assist where we are able. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm giving to the auctioneer.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Piet van Oosthuizen and I will be your auctioneer for today. Ladies and gentlemen, as you just heard, it's standard terms and conditions today. You all know that. Ladies and gentlemen, I keep the right as auctioneer to myself. If there's any dispute or on any lot or item, to reopen the bid on that specific lot or item. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, lot number 1 here, ladies and gentlemen, is a 2015 Ford Ranger 2.2 Club Cab, ladies and gentlemen. It has 337,000 on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. VAT transaction, and it has papers. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you say? Start me now. At 45, 45 now. At 45, 45, 45 now. At 45, 45, 45, but me now. At 45, 45 now. At 45, but me now. At 45, 45 now. At 45, I've got 45 now. Oh, 45,000 rand, come on. At 45 now. At 45, but me 50 now, come on. At 50, 50, but me 50 now, come on, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 50, asking 50, come on. At 50, 50, but me 50 now. Anybody's money at 50, yeah. At 45 is online. 45 is online, but me now. At 45, 5, 45, 5, 45, 5, 45. At 45, 5, 45, 5, 45. Anybody's money? At 45, 5, 5, 45. Righto, ladies and gentlemen, let's put that one STC, ladies and gents. We go on to lot number 2, lot number 2. Lot number 2 is a 2009 Hino 700D axle. Ladies and gentlemen, it has 752,000 kilometers on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. VAT transaction, has papers. Ladies and gentlemen, start me now. What do you say but me? What do you say about a 250 now? At 250, ladies and gentlemen, start me now. At 250,000, ladies and gentlemen, of you say. At 250, come on. At 250, start me. 200, I'll take. At 200 now. At 200, is that a bit, sir? At 200, but me now. At 200, anybody's money. At 200,000 now. At 200,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 200,000 now. At 200,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 200,000, start me. 150, anybody's money. At 150, but me now, 150, come on. At 150, anybody's money now. At 150, get a 150 now, but me 160 now, come on. At 160 now. At 160, but me 170 now. At 177, get a 170 now. At 170, come on. At 170 now. At 170,000 rand, come on. 170, get a 170 now. At 170, 170, 180 now. Thank you, sir. At 180, I get a 190 now. At 190, 190, I've got 190, but me at 190 now. At 190, thank you, sir. At 190, I get a 190 now. At 190,000 rand to 190. All out and done. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just put that one SDC for now. Ladies and gentlemen, lot number 3, 2005 tri-axle top trailer, brick crane, plus container locks. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a no VAT transaction. No VAT transaction, and it has papers. Remember, it's a no VAT transaction, but it comes with all its papers. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you say, start me? At 150,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 150 now, come on. At 150,000 rand, we say. At 150, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 150, come on. 140 now. 40, I'll take. At 140, 40, at 140 now. At 140, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 140, thank you, sir. At 140, at 140, 40, at 140 now. At 140, 40, at 140, 40, at 140 now, but me now. At 140, at 140, but it 150 now. At 150, thank you, sir. At 150, at 150, but me now. At 150, 50, at 150 now. 150, but it 160 now. Come on. At 160,000, come on, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 160, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 160, at 160 now. At 160,000 rand, helemaal klaar. At 170, thank you, sir. At 170 now. At 170, 70, but me now. At 170,000. All out and done. 170,000. Is that a bit, sir? 170. Okay, let's just put that one STC for now. Lot number 4 here. Lot number 4, a 2011 Toyota Fortuner 3-liter D4D manual. It has 210 kilometers on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. It's a no VAT transaction. No VAT transaction. But it has all its papers. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you say? Start me. At 100,000 we say, 100,000, 100,000 now. At 100,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 100,000 we say, hop, 100,000 at 110. Is that a bit? 100,000 we say. At 100,000, come on. At 100,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 100,000, 100,000, but at 110 now. At 110, 10, at 110, but at 120 now. At 120, 20, but at 120, come on, sir, look at me. At 120, 20, at 120 now. 130 is your bet, come on. At 130 now, make it 130 now, but me. At 130, but me now. At 130, 30, but me now. 130, look at me, sir. 130, but me. 130. At 130, 30, 30, but me 130 now. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, anybody's money. At 130, but me now. At 130, 30, but me now. 130, but me 130. At 125, I'll take. At 125 or 125 now. At 125 or 125 or 125 now. At 125 or 125. At 125, ladies and gentlemen, are you all out and done? At 125. At 125 or 125, but me 130, anybody's money. At 125, yeah. At 125. 125,000 rand, all out and done, 125. STC for now, STC for now, just write down his number. We'll talk to him, 722, buyer's number 722. Ladies and gentlemen, on lot number 5 here, lot number 5. Lot number 5 is a Nissan Game Viewer, ladies and gentlemen. It's a no VAT transaction. It has papers, but it's a no VAT transaction. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like a zebra here. Start me now. What do you say? Start me. At 40, bet me 40,000 now. Up the other days and run to, come on. At 40,000, ladies and gentlemen, have we said. At 40, bet me 40 now. 40, bet me 40 now. 30, I'll take. At 30 now, 30, thank you, sir. At 30, I got a 30 now, bet me 35, come on. At 35, bet me 35, ladies and gentlemen, at 35 online. At 35 is online now. At 35, bet me 40 now. At 40, bet me 40 now, come on. At 40,000, thank you, sir. At 40 now. At 40, I got a 40 now. At 40 now, talk to me online. I've got 40,000 on the floor now. At 40 now, 40, I got a 40 now. 45, thank you, sir. 42.5, I'll take. At 42.5, I got a 42.5. At 42.5 is online now. At 42.5. At 42.5, I got a 42.5 now. At 42.5, bet me 45. At 45, thank you, sir. At 45.5, I got a 45 online. Talk to me. At 45. At 45 is on the floor now. At 45.5, I got a 45 is on the floor. At 45. 47.5. At 47.5, or 47.5, but me now. At 47.5, or 47.5. At 47.5, but me 50,000, come on. At 50,000, 50, but me 50 now. At 50, thank you, sir. At 50, or 50 now. 50, or 50,000 on the floor. At 50,000 on the floor now, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 50,000, 50, or 50 now. Online, are you all out now? At 50,000 is on the floor. 50,000, all out and done. Online, are you all out? Are you all done at 50,000? Let's just put that one STC for now. Ladies and gentlemen, then we got an international 7600D axle. Ladies and gentlemen, 2005 model. It's a VAT transaction and it has papers. It has papers. Ladies and gentlemen, start me now. What do you say? At 120 now, we say 120,000 random near, come on. At 120 now. At 120, start me 100,000, I'll take. At 100,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 100,000 now, we say. At 100,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 100,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 100,000, anybody's money, I got a 110 now, thank you, sir. At 110, I got a 110, I got a 110, I got a 110. At 110, I got a 110, I got a 110, I got a 110, but me 120. At 120, anybody's money, at 120 now, come on. At 120, but me 120 now. At 120 online. At 120 online. I got a 120 online now. At 120, I got a 120, I got a 120, I got a 120 online. At 120, I got a 120, I got a 120, but me 130 now. At 130, thank you, sir. At 130, I got a 130, I got a 130, coming online. At 130 now. At 130, I got a 130, 130 on the floor now. At 130, ladies and gentlemen, I got a 130. At 130 now. At 130, but me now. 140 online. I've got 140 online. I got a 140, 40, I got a 140, I got a 140 online now. At 140, ladies and gentlemen, I got a 140 online. At 140, but me. At 150, I'll take 145, thank you, sir. At 145, coming online, but me 150 now. At 150 online, but me now. At 145 now. I've got 145 or 145 now, ladies and gentlemen. I all out and done at 145 online. Come on, help me out, make it 150. At 150, asking 150, come on. It's 145 now. At 145, 145, 145. At 145 or 145. All out and done at 145. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just put that one STC for now. Fertilizer spreader. We've got a fertilizer spreader here. It's a no VAT transaction. It has no papers. It has no papers and it's a no VAT transaction. Ladies and gentlemen, start me warrior say 100,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 100,000, near we say. At 100,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. 100,000, ladies and gentlemen, I come on. At 100,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 100,000, anybody's money now. Anybody's money at 100,000 now. At 50, I got 50, thank you online. At 50,000, got a 50 now. 50, got a 50,000 now. At 50,000, but me 60 now. At 60, come on, look at me, make it a 60 now, come on. At 60,000 now. At 60, thank you, sir. At 60, got a 60,000 now, come on online, but me 70 now. At 70, come on online. Asking 70,000 online. Asking 70,000 online, but me now. At 60,000 on the floor now. At 60,000, but me now. At 60,000, got a 60 now. 60, but me 70 now. Op 70,000 random near anybody's money now. now. At 70,000 bid me. Asking 70,000 now, come on. At 70,000 online now. At 70,000 is online now. At 70,000, got a 70,000 now, come on. At 70,000, got a 70,000 rand to bid me 80 now. At 80,000, ladies and gentlemen, bid me now. At 80,000, anybody's money here at 80,000, asking 80,000 now. Op 80,000, thank you, sir. At 80 now. At 80,000, got 80,000 now. Op 80,000 rand, got 80,000, bid me now. At 80,000, I'll take 85. At 85, 5 at 85. At 85, bid me 90 now. At 90,000, ladies and gentlemen, anybody's money at 90,000 now. At 90, thank you, sir. At 99, take it at 90,000 now. At 90,000, bid me. At 90,000, 90,000. What about a 95? At 95, 5 at a 95, 5 at a 95. At 95. Anybody's money at 100,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me. 95,000. Are you all out and done? Let's just put that one STC for now. 2009 Isuzu. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a 2009 model. It got 662,000 on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. It's a no VAT transaction. No VAT transaction. No VAT. It has all its papers, ladies and gentlemen. It's lot number 8 here. At lot number 8, ladies and gentlemen, start me now. What do you say, ladies and gentlemen? Start me. At 180,000 now. 150 I'll take. At 150, start me now. At 150, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 150, get a 150, 50, but me 150 now. At 150,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 150,000, anybody's money now. At 150, thank you, sir. At 150, get a 150, 50, get a 150, but me now. At 150, 160, is that a bet online? At 160, is that a bet? At 160 online. Dankie Meerkat. At 160 now. At 160, at 160, at 160, but at 170 now. At 170, but me now. At 170, get a 170 now. Thank you, sir. At 170, 70, get a 170 now, but me now. At 170, get 170,000 rand. Come on. At 170, at 170, get a 170 now. At 170,000 rand. Come on. At 180, but me now. At 180, thank you, sir. At 180 now. 180 on my left hand side, yeah. At 180 now, but me. At 180, get a 180 now. At 180,000 rand. Meneer Ahmed Lawat, say hello. At 180, get a 190 now. At 190, get a 190 now. At 190, ladies and gentlemen, I got a 190 now. At 190, but me 200,000, but me now. At 200,000, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, sir. At 200,000, but at 210 now. 210. At 210 now, at 210 now. At 210, I got a 210, but me now. At 210, 210. Ladies and gentlemen, I all out and done. All out, all done. At 210,000. We're a little bit short on that one. Just put him STC. We'll talk to him afterwards. Lot number 9 here, ladies and gentlemen. Lot number 9. Lot number 9, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 2016 NP300 2.5 diesel. 2.5 diesel. 2016. It got 76,000 kilometers on the clock. No VAT transaction. And it has papers. It has its papers. Ladies and gentlemen, start me out. 100,000 we say. At 130, 130 on the floor now. At 130, 130 now. At 130, come on online, make it 35. At 35, 5 online, but me 135. At 31, 30 is on the floor now. 130 on the floor. At 130, at 130 now. 130, 30, 30, at 130 is on the floor now. At 130, all out and done. Online, are you all out and done? At 130 now. Not sold at this moment. Talk to us afterwards. Ladies and gentlemen, start me now. What do you say, ladies and gentlemen? Start me now. At 50,000, we say 40. At 40, 40, but me 40 now. At 40,000, but me now. At 40, 40, but me 40 now. 40, 40,000 now. At 40, thank you, sir. At 40 now. 40, 40, 40, at 40 now. 40, 40, at 40 now. At 40,000 now. At 40, 40, 40, at 40 now. 40, 40, but it at 5. At 45, 5, at 45, 5, 45. At 45, 5, 45, 5, 45. At 45,000 now. At 45, 5, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 45,000 now. Oh, 45,000 rand, come on. At 45, 5, at 45, but me 50 now. At 50,000, asking 50, come on. At 50,000, thank you, sir. At 50, 50. 50, 50 now, 50, 50, 50,000 now. At 50,000, ladies and gentlemen, I all out and done at 50,000. 50,000. Ladies and gentlemen, I all out and done 50,000. Not sold at this moment. Ladies and gentlemen, lot number 11, a drawbar trailer. Drawbar trailer, no VAT transaction. No VAT transaction. And it has no papers. Ladies and gentlemen, a drawbar trailer, no VAT, no papers. No VAT, no papers, ladies and gentlemen. Start me now. What is a 5,000? At 5,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. Oh, 5 days around to 4,000, I'll take. At 4,000, come on. At 4,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 4,000 now. Corsa, a 2008 Opel Corsa. It has no VAT and has its papers. No VAT, but it has its papers. German warriors, are you start me now? At 40,000 now. At 40, 40, but me. At 40,000, we say. At 40, 40, but me 40 now. 30, I'll take as well. At 30,000, come on. At 35 there, at 35, 5, 35, 35, but me 40 now, at 40 now, at 40, 40, 40, 40, at 40 now, at 40 is online now, at 40, but at 45, at 45, look at me, sir, make it 45 now, at 45, 5, asking 45, at 45, 5, asking 45, come on, at 45, 5, 45, but me, at 45, 5, 5, make it 45, help me out. At 45,000, at 45, 5, but me, at 45, ladies and gentlemen, everybody's money here at 45,000, at 45, 5, 45, online, at 45 now. At 45, truck and trailer, at online now. At 45, 5, at 45, make it 50. At 50, 50, but be 50 now. At 50,000 is money at 50,000, yeah. At 50,000, at me out, make it 50 now. At 50, but be 50 now. At 50, come on. At 45,000 online. Ladies and gentlemen, we're a little bit short on him. Let's put him out for now. No papers.
Are you sure?
Staan maar. No papers, no VAT. No papers, no VAT. No papers, no VAT. 2016 Nissan MP200. Righto, ladies and gentlemen, start me what you say 60,000 now. At 60,000, ladies and gentlemen, bid me now. At 50, I'll take as well. At 50, bid me 50 now. At 50,000 now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just a mistake on our side. It has papers. It has papers. But no VAT with its papers. Ladies and gentlemen, start me what I say 50,000 now. At 50, bid me 50 now. At 50,000, ladies and gentlemen, start me now. At 50, go to 50,000 now. At 50, go to 50,000 now, bid me. At 50,000 now. Is that a bit, sir? At 50,000, yeah. At 50, go to 50,000, bid me 55. At 50. We move over to lot number 14, ladies and gents. Lot number 14 is a 2012 Suzuki Jimny. A Suzuki Jimny, ladies and gentlemen. A 2012 it's a no VAT transaction, but it has all its papers and it got a full service history. A full service history. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a 2012 4x4 Jimny. Ladies and gentlemen, start me, what do you say, ladies and gentlemen, bid me now. At 100,000 we say, 80 I'll take. At 80,000, come on. At 80,000, bid me now. At 80,000, ladies and gentlemen, bid me now. At 80,000 now. At 80,000 there. At 80,000, bid me now. 80,000, 80,000 now. At 80,000, bid me. At 90,000 now. 90 online. At 90 online. At 90, 100,000 now. At 100,000 now. At 100,000, ladies and gentlemen, now. At 100,000 on the floor now. At 100,000 coming online. At 100,000 is on the floor now. At 100,000 is on the floor, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 110, I got a 110 online. At 110, I got a 110, I got a 110, I got a 110, I got a 110 online. At 110, I got a 110, but me 120 now. At 120, but me 120 now. Come on. I'll help you with 5. 115. At 115 now. At 115, I got a 115, I got a 115, I got a 115. At 115, I got a 115, I got a 115, but me 120 now. At 20, I got a 120 online. At 120 is online now. At 120, 20, I got a 120, I got a 120, I got a 120 online. At 120, 20, 20. I'll help you with 5 again. 125. At 125, can I take that one? Just hang on a moment. At 120 is online. At 120, 20, got a 120, got a 120, got a 120 online. At 120, 20, got a 120, got a 120, got a 120, I'll take 5. At 120, got a 120, got a 120 online. At 120, 20, got a 120, got a 120, got a 120 online. At 120, 120,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 120, 20, 20, got a 120, got a 120, got a 120 now. At 120, 20, got a 120 is online now. Op 120,000, make it 125. It's a small bit. 125. At 125, 5 but me. At 125, thank you, sir. At 125, at a 125, at a 125. At 125, at 125, 5 at a 125. At 125, 125 but me. At 125, at 125, at a 125 now. At 125, at 125, 125, make it 130 online, asking 130 now. At 130, at 125, ladies and gentlemen. Can we just get that buyer's number? 725. 725. It's STC for now. We're a little bit short. We'll talk to you afterwards. If you make it 130, I'll talk nicely. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to move up a bit to the next row. You can all go up to that side. Righto, ladies and gentlemen, we had lot number 15. Lot number 15, ladies and gentlemen, lot number 15. It's a Land Rover Series 3. Land Rover Series 3. It has no VAT and no papers. Nice for the farm, ladies and gentlemen. It's a diesel and it has no VAT, no papers. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you say? Start me. At 40,000 now. At 40, 40, bid me 40 now. 40,000, come on. At 40,000 now. At 40, 40, bid me 40 now. 40, 40, bid me 40,000 now. At 40, 40, bid me 40 now. At 40, thank you, sir. At 40 now. 40, 40, 40 now. At 40, 40, 40, 40,000 now. At 40, 40, 40, bid me 40. 45, at 45 online, at 45, 5 is online now, 45,000 now, at 45, 5, 45, 5, 45, put me 50, back at you for 50 now, 50, 50, put me 50, thank you sir, at 50 now, coming online, at 50,000 on the floor, at 50,000, got a 50,000 now, at 50,000 on the floor now, coming online, meer kat praat met julle mense, at 50,000 now, at 50, 50, 50, got a 50 on the floor now, at 50,000 now, at 50,000, ladies and gentlemen, I all up and done, at 55 now, truck and trailer 55, at 55, 5 at a 55, at 55, 5 at a 55 online, at 55, 5, 55, 5, back at you for 60, at 60,000 but me now, at 60,000 come on, at 60,000 is a small one already, at 60,000 but me, at 60,000, gonna say 60,000 rand to know. At 60,000, at 60, 60, 60, gonna 60,000 now, but me. Online, talk to your people now. At 60,000 now, at 60,000 on the floor. At 60,000 on the floor now. At 60,000 now, is that a bit, sir? At 60,000, is that a bit? 60,000 on the floor. At 60,000 on the floor now. At 60,000 now. Are you all out and done? Online, are you all out? Ladies and gentlemen, it's a 2009 model, it's a VAT transaction, and it has papers. It has papers. It's a TLB in Heidelberg, ladies and gentlemen. Truck and trailer, watch your bet there. 190,000 now, at 180,000 online, at 190, 190 now, at 190 bet me, at 190 now, at 190 bet me, at 190 thank you sir, at 190 at 190 bet me, 200,000 bet me now, at 200 thank you sir, 200 now, at bet me now 210, at 210 10 at 210 now, at 210 at 230 now, at 230 online, at 230 online with truck and trailer, at 230 now, at 230 30 bet me 230 30 at 230 now, at 230 at 250, is that a bet? At 250, at 250 now, at 250 with truck and trailer, at 250 now, at 250 now, at 250,000 now, come on, at 250 now, at 250 ladies and gentlemen, but me, at 250 now, but me, at 250, I've got 250 now, it's online ladies and gentlemen, at 250, I all out and all done, at 250,000 online with truck and trailer, what's that bet? At 260 now, at 260 at 260 now, at 260, 60 at 260 now, at 260, 270 now, at 270 now, at 270 now, it's online now at 270, at 270, at 280 online, at 280 online, come on, at 280 now, at 280 but me now, at 290 asking 290 now, at 280 is online with truck and trailer, ladies and gentlemen. I'll take 85. 285 online, I'll take 285. We just give a moment here to the online. At 280,000, I've got 280,000. Asking 285, I'll take. Are you all out? Just hang on a moment. We're just waiting for the online. 280,000 is online. We'll just give them a moment. $280,000 is online. Ladies and gentlemen, at 280, 280,000, ladies and gentlemen. We just have a problem with the online. You'll just give us a moment. Truck and trailer is back with us. Ladies and gentlemen, the last bid was 280,000 now. At 280,000, bid me now. At 290 now. Bid me 290, come on. At online now. At 280 is online, bid me 290 now. At 280, I've got 280, 290 is online. $5091 STC for now. $290 number. SL4PLD 2017 model. It's a VAT transaction and it has papers and it's in Heidelberg. Heidelberg, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 2017 model. Ladies and gentlemen, start me now. 400,000 we say. At 400,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 400,000, but me now. At 400 now. At 400, but me 350, I'll take as well. At 350 now. 350, I got a 360 now. At 360, thank you, sir. At 360 now. At 360, but me now. At 370, 70, 70, I got a 370, 380 now. At 380, 390 is online. At 390 now. At 390 is online now. With Meerkat at the 390 now. At 390, 400,000, come on. At 400, I got a 410 now. At 410, 10, 10, I got a 410, I got a 410 now. At 420, 20, I got a 420 now. At 420, 20, 20, I got a 420 now. At 420, at 420,000, but me now. At 420, 20, coming online. At 420, at 420, 20, 20, I got a 420 now, but me. At 430 now, is that a bit? Is that a bit? Thank you, sir. At 430 now. At 430, 30, I got a 430 now. At 430 now. At 430,000 rand, come on. At 430 now. 440. At 440 with truck and trailer. At 440 now. At 440, I got a 440, 40, 40, I got a 440 now. At 440,000, but me now. At 440 now. At 440, 40, but me 450, is that a bit, sir? Come on. At 450, it's a small one already. At 450, at 450, but me now. At 450, thank you, sir. At 450 now. At 450, op 450,000 rand is julle almal klaar, dames en here, wie sê? At 450, 450,000. Are you all out and down online? STC for now, ladies and gentlemen. Lot number 16. Lot number 16. It's an international 7600D axle. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a 2006 model. 2006. It's a VAT transaction and it has papers. It's a VAT transaction and it has papers. Ladies and gentlemen, it has a Cummins motor in it. Ladies and gentlemen, bid me now. What do you say? 150,000 now. At 130 I'll take. At 130, 30, 130 now. Op 130,000 rand, come on. At 130, 30, 130, bid me now. At 130, 30, 140 online. At 140, 40, 140 now. At 140, 40, 140, 40, 140 now. At 140, 40, bid me now. At 150, at 150, anybody's money here. At 150 now, come on. At 150, 50, bid me now. Op 150,000 rand, come on. At 150, bid me now. At 150, 50, 50, is that a bit, sir? Is that a bit? Come on, make it 150. At 150, thank you, sir. At 150, 50, 50, 150 now. At 150,000 rand, dames en heren. Are you all out and done? At 150,000. SDC for now, ladies and gents.
Ladies and gentlemen, lot number 16A. Lot number 16A. It's a case 420 skid steer, ladies and gentlemen. A case 420 skid steer. It's a VAT transaction, but it has no papers. It has no papers, and it's in Heidelberg, ladies and gents. In Heidelberg. Ladies and gentlemen, start me now. At 150,000, 150, thank you, sir. At 150, 50, 150 now. At 150,000, come on. At 150, 50, put me now. At 150, 150, 150, put me 160 now. At 160, put me now. At 160, ladies and gentlemen, who says? At 160, put me now. At 160, thank you, sir. At 160 now. 160 at 170, 70, put me now. At 170, 170,000, come on. At 170, thank you, sir. At 170, 170, 70, put me 180 now. At 180, thank you, sir. At 180 now. At 180, 80, 180 now. Well, do you want to have a small one? 180. Here 180 now. At 180, 180, 80, 80, 180 now. At 180,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 180,000 now. Are you all out? Are you all done? 180,000. Not sold at this moment. STC for now. Dames en heren, lot number 17. Lot number 17. It's a 1995 Iveco 8-ton bulk drop side cattle truck. 1995 model, ladies and gents. It's a no VAT transaction, and it has papers. It has papers. Ladies and gentlemen, start me. What do you say, ladies and gentlemen? Start me now. 100,000 we say. Up, 100,000 rand, meneer, we say. Come on. At 100,000 now. At 100,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 100,000 now. Up, 100,000 rand, anybody's money now. At 100,000, is that a bit? At 100,000, thank you, sir. At 100,000 now. At 100,000, 110, 10, 10, 10, but me now. At 110, 110, 110, 110, 110 now. At 110, 10, 110, 110, 110, 110. At 110, 10, 110, 110, 110 now. Op 110,000 rand, meneer, is helemaal klaar op 110,000 rand online. I all out. I all done at 110,000. Not sold at this moment. At lot number 18, ladies and gentlemen, it's a lot number 18, 2012 Kia K2700 2.5 ton closed body, ladies and gentlemen. 240,000 on the clock. No VAT. No VAT. It has papers. Ladies and gentlemen, start me, but me. What do you say, 50,000 now? At 50,000, but me now. At 50,000, ladies and gentlemen, start me now. At 50,000, anybody's money? At 50,000, 30. 30, I'll take 30. At 30,000 now. At 30, 30, I got 30 now. 30, 30, I got 30,000, 35. At 35, 5 online, 35, 35, make it 40 now. At 40, 40 on the floor now. At 40, 40, 40 on the floor now, but me 45. At 45, at 45, 5, 50 now. 50 is on the floor. At 50,000 now. At 50,000 is on the floor now. At 50,000 is on the floor, ladies and gentlemen. 50,000 on the floor. At 55 online. At 55 online, is that a bit? At 50 on the floor. At 50 on the floor now. At 50,000 now. At 50, 50, but be 50 now. 50 is on the floor. At 50,000 now. At 50,000, 50, 50, but be 55. 55, 555. 55 is on the floor. 60 online. At 60 online, but be. At 60 online. At 60 is online. At 60,000 now. At 60,000 is online. At 65, at 65, 5, 65, 5, 65, at 65, 5 on the floor now, at 65, 5, 65, 65, 60, 65, at 65, 5, at 65, 70 online, at 70,000 now, at 70,000 online, at 70,000, at 70,000 now, at 70,000 online, at 70, are you sure? 72.5. At 72.5 on the floor. At 72.5 at a 72.5. At 72.5 now. At 72.5 is on the floor. Put me 75 online. Come on. At 72.5. At 72.5. Are you all out and done? 72.5. Can we just have that number? 725. STC for now. We'll talk to you afterwards. We've got at lot number 19, we got a 2004 Toyota Hilux with rails. A Toyota Hilux with rails. A 2004 model, ladies and gentlemen. It got 420,000 on the clock. No VAT transaction, no VAT transaction, and it has its papers. It has its papers. What's that bid, truck and trailer? 50. At 50 online now. At 50,000, at 50,000 online. At 50, 50, bid me now. At 50,000, make it 55 now. Come on. At 55, 5, bid me now. At 55, 5, bid me 55,000. Thank you, sir. At 55, 5, at 55. At 55,000 on the floor now. At 55, 5, 55. At 55, 5, bid me 60 now. At 60,000, anybody's money. At 60,000, come on online. At 60,000, at 60,000 online. At 60,000 now. At 60,000 online. At 60,000, at 60. 60,000 now. At 60,000 now. At 60,000, but me now. At 65, 5 at a 65. At 65, 5 at a 65. At 65, 5 at a 65. At 65, 5, but me 70 online. Come on. At 70,000 now. At 70,000 online, but me now. Asking 70,000 online. At 70,000 online now. At 70,000 at 70,000 now. At 70,000 is online. At 70,000 online now. At 70,000 is with truck and trailer online now. At 70,000 now. At 70 bid me now. Is that a bit 75? Make it 75. Come on. At 75, 5 asking 75 now. At 75, 5 bid me now. At 75, 5 bid me 80,000 now. At 80,000, come on. At 80,000 online asking 80,000 bid me now. At 75,000, I all out and done, but the 80,000 online, come on, I'll give you one more chance. At 80,000 now, I'll take small one as well. Make it 77.5. At 77.5 online, but me now. At 77.5, but me now. At 77.5 online, come on, help me out on this one now. At 77.5. At 77.5. I all out and all done. Not sold for now. 77.5 online. That's 77.5 online now. That's 77.5. That's 77.5. I all out. I all done at 77,500. Once and twice. And sold. Thank you, truck and trailer. Buyer's number 5018. Thank you, sir. 5108. 5108. Buyer online with truck and trailer. Thank you, sir. Okay. Oh, yeah. Calvary diesel tanker. Calvary diesel tanker, ladies and gentlemen. Plus a pump, a 2,500 liter. Plus a 20-meter hose. Plus a pump, 70 liters per minute. It's a 2023 model, ladies and gentlemen. No VAT, no VAT, and it has its papers. No VAT, and it has its papers. It's also in Heidelberg, ladies and gentlemen. Start me, what do they say, 80,000 now. Start me 60. That's 60,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. That's 60,000, ladies and gentlemen, now, come on. That's 60,000 now. Op 60,000 rand, meneer wie sê. That's 60,000 now, but me. That's 60,000, 60 now, 60, 60, but me 60 now. That's 60,000 now, coming online. That's 60,000 now. That's 60,000, ladies and gentlemen, are you all out and done? Not sold at this moment, ladies and gents. Lot number 19, lot number 20, lot number 20. A Nissan UD 79 drop site plus a crane, plus a crane. Ladies and gentlemen, it got 386 kilometers on the clock. It's a no VAT transaction, and it has its papers. Ladies and gentlemen, bid me. What do you say? 150. At 150,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 150 now, bid me. At 150,000, ladies and gentlemen, we say. At 150,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 150,000, bid me now. At 150 now. At 150, thank you, sir. At 150, 50, 150, 50, bid me now. At 150, 160 now. At 160 online. At 160 online, bid me. At 160, 170, thank you, sir. At 170 now. At 170, 70, 70, 170 now, bid me. 180 online, come on. At 180 now. At 180 online, bid me now. Online, come on. But me 180, 180, 180 is that a bit, sir? At 180 now, at 180, thank you, sir. At 180, 180 now, at 180,000, are you all out? Are you all done? At 180,000, not sold at this moment, ladies and gents. Lot number 21. Lot number 21, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 2018 Toyota Corolla Quest 1.6 liter manual. It's a Toyota Corolla Quest 1.6 liter. It's a manual, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 2018 model. It got 196 kilometers on the clock, no VAT transaction, and it has its papers.
60 online.
60 online with Meerkat. That's 60,000, but me now. That's 60,000, and 60 now, 70,000 now. That's 70, but me 80 now, 80,000 on the floor. At 80,000 now. Op 80,000, come on. At 80,000 is on the floor now, but me 90 Meerkat. At 90,000, come on. At 90,000, but me now. At 90,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 90,000, anybody's money. At 90,000, thank you, sir. At 90,000 now. At 90,000, but me now. At 90,000, but me 100,000 now, come on. At 100,000, anybody's money. At 90,000 on the floor. At 90,000 on the floor now. 95. Truck and trailer 95. Come on. At 95, 5 at a 95 now. 95, 95 at a 95 now. At 95, 5 at a 95, 95 now. At 95, 5 but me 100 now. Is that a bit, sir? At 100,000, come on. At 100,000, thank you, sir. At 100,000 now. At 100,000, ladies and gentlemen. At 100,000, remember, it's a no VAT transaction. It's a no VAT transaction. At 100,000 on the floor. At 100,000 now. At 100,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 100,000 now. Are you all out? Are you all done? Online, are you out? At 100,000. Not sold at this moment, ladies and gentlemen. Lot number 22. Lot number 22. It's a diesel browser, ladies and gentlemen, a diesel browser, ladies and gentlemen, 1,000 liters, 2024 model, a VAT transaction, and it has its papers. Ladies and gentlemen, start me now, what do you say? I'll take 32. I'll take 32. Come on online. At 32, 2, but me 32. 30 is on the floor. At 32, 2, and 32 now. At 32, 2, and 32 now. At 32, 2, and 32, and 32, but me. At 32, 2, 32. Are you all out and done? At 32, 32,000 once and twice, and sold. Buyer's number
712.
712. Thank you, sir. We appreciate. Then at lot number 23, we've got a 2016 Mahindra Scorpio 2.6 liter diesel, ladies and gentlemen. A Mahindra Scorpio, a 2016 model, ladies and gentlemen. It has 156 kilometers on the clock. No VAT transaction, no VAT, and it has its papers. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you say? Start me. 70,000. That's 70,000 now. Oh, 70,000 rand, anybody's money now. That's 70,000 but me now. That's 70,000 but me 70 now. Come on. That's 70,000 now. That's 70,000 but me now. 60 I'll take. That's 60,000 but me now. That's 60,000 but me now. 60,000, come on. That's 60,000, anybody's money now. That's 60,000 now. That's 60, thank you, sir. That's 65, 5 at a 65. That's 65 online. That's 65 but me 70 now. Oh, 70,000, thank you, sir. That's 70 is done, but sir. That's 75 online. That's 75 online but me 80,000 now. At 80,000 back at you for 80 now, but me. At 80,000, 75 is online. 80,000 now. 80,000 online. At 80,000 is online now. At 80,000, 80,000 now. Up 80,000 online now. With truck and trailer, 80,000. 85. 85, come on, sir. Make it 85 now. I'll take 82. 82,000 now. 82 now. Up 82,000 but me 85 online. At 85 but me now. At 82 is on the floor. At 82 is on the floor now. Come on online but me 85. At 85, 5, 85. At 85, 5, come on online but me 85. 82 is on the floor, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, not sold at this moment. Can we just have your number, sir?
From STC.
STC for now. 700, 700, 700. Ladies and gentlemen, lot number 23A. Lot number 23A. It's also in Heidelberg, ladies and gentlemen. It's a tandem bottom dumper rear link trailer. It's a 2024 model. It's a VAT transaction and it has its papers. It has its papers. It's in Heidelberg, ladies and gentlemen. What do you say, start me? 500,000 now. At 500,000 now. Oh, 500,000, ladies and gentlemen, start me, put me now. At 500 now. At 520, 20, at 520 now. At 520, 20, at 520, 20, at 520 now, put me. At 520 now. At 525, 40 is online now. At 540 now. At 540 is online. At 540, 40, 40, at 540 now. At 540, 40, put me now. At 540, 40, put me now. At 540, 40, put me now. 540, 40, at 540 now. At 540 now. At 540 now. 540, 40, 40, make it 60 now. 540,000, ladies and gentlemen. 560, at 560 now, at 560 now, at 560 on the left hand side, at 560 now. Are you all out and done? At 560,000. Not sold at this moment, ladies and gents. Lot number 24. Lot number 24 is a 2011 BMW X1 automatic. It's a very, very nice car. Well looked after, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of the picks of the day, ladies and gentlemen. It has 192 kilometers on the clock. And no VAT transaction. No VAT transaction. Lot number 24. And it has all its papers. All its papers. Ladies and gentlemen, bet me. What do you say? 80,000. That's 80,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. That's 80,000, 50. 50 I've got on the floor. 50,000. That's 50, 50, 50 now. 50, 50 is on the floor. That's 50,000, 50,000 around. Come on. That's 50,000 now. That's 50, 50, 50 now. 50, 50, 50 now, but me. That's 50,000 on the floor. That's 55, 55 is online. That's 60,000 now. That's 60, 60, put me 65 online. Come on. That's 60 is on the floor. That's 65, 70,000 now. That's 70,000, 7,000 on Dopey Fluid. No. That's 70,000 on 75, 75, 80,000 now. At 80,000 on the floor. At 80,000, come on, 85, 85. At 85 is online. I'll take a small one. 85 is online. Bet me 87. It's a small 85 online. No VAT. No VAT. 85 is online. At 85, 85, back at 2 for 90 now. At 90, 90, 90, at 90,000 now. At 90,000 on the floor now, but me. At 90,000, come on online, but me 95. At 95, 5 at 95, at 95. At 2 and a quarter. At 87.5. At 87.5 is online then. 87.5 is online, but me. At 90,000 now, but me. Asking 90,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 87.5 is online with truck and trailer. All out and done. Sold on truck and trailer for 87,500. 146, buyer's number 146. Lot number 25, lot number 25, lot number 25. It's a 2011 Toyota Hilux 2.5 D4D 4x4, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 2011 model. It has 176 kilometers on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. It's a no VAT transaction, and it has all its papers.
Was it 70 op truck and trailer, 70 op Mercat?
70,000 on Meerkat and 70,000 on truck and trailer, but me 75. That's 75 Meerkat. That's 75, 75, but me 80,000 come on truck and trailer. That's 75, 5 on Meerkat now. That's 75, 75, but me now. That's 75, 75, 80,000 on the floor. That's 80,000 on the floor now. At 80,000, come on Meerkat, help me out, yeah. At 80,000 on the floor, 85 Meerkat, come on. Asking 85, 85,000 now. 85 is with Meerkat, make it 90 truck and trailer. 85 is worth me at 90,000 now. At 90, 90, 90, 95. At 95, 595. At 95, 595. At 95 is worth me cut now. At 95, 100,000 now. At 100,000 make it a 110. At 110, 10. 105. At 105, 5 at a 105, make it 110 now. At 110, 10, asking 110, come on online. At 105 is with Meerkat now. At 105, 5 at a 105, better than 110 now. At 110, 10 but me. At 110, 10 but me now. Anybody's money. At 110 with truck and trailer. At 110, 10, 10, at 110, at 110 now. At 110, 10, at 110, at 110, at 115. At 115, at 115, at 120. At 120, 20, at 120 now. At 120, 20, at 120 with truck and trailer. At 120 now. At 120, 20, 20 at 120, 125. At 125 is with Meerkat. At 125 but be 130 now. At 130 truck and trailer, come on. At 125 is with Meerkat. At 125 with Meerkat online. 125,000, ladies and gentlemen. Are you all out and all done? 125,000 with Meerkat. And sold. Buyer's number 5052. Bye, donkey. Thank you, sir. Lot number 26. Lot number 26 is a 2016 Nissan NP300 2.5 diesel. 2.5 diesel, a 2016 model, ladies and gentlemen. It has 103 kilometers on the clock. It's a no VAT transaction. No VAT. It has all its papers, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 2016 model. What do you say? Start me. 80,000. Hop, 80,000 rand, come on. At 80,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 80,000 now. At 80,000, but me now. 80,000, come on. At 80,000, anybody's money. At 80,000 now, come on. At 80,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 80,000 now, come on. At 80,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 80,000 now, come on online. 80,000 with Meerkat. At 80,000 now. At 80,000, bet at 85. At 85, 5, 85, 5, come on. At 85, 5, at 85, help me out. At 85,000 now. Op 85,000, dankie. At 85, 5, 85. But me 90, 85, but me 90. Are you all out and done? At 85,000, ladies and gentlemen. Not sold at this moment. Llewellyn.
Go fetch it. If you just bring it, I'll do everything for you. Is it maar wat gedryf het? You can also try her hotspot.
Ladies and gentlemen, at lot number 27. Lot number 27. A BTX D25 diesel forklift. It's a 2022 model. 2022 model. It's a VAT transaction, but it has no papers. No papers. It has 5,000 hours on the clock. 5,000 hours on the clock. No VAT. Ja, excuse, hy het VAT op. Hy het VAT op.
No VAT.
Ja, with VAT. With VAT. Maar no papers. With VAT, no papers. Ladies and gentlemen, start me now. What do you say? 120,000 now. At 120, bid me. At 100,000 I will take. At 100,000 bid me now. At 100,000, ladies and gentlemen, start me now. At 100,000 near we said. At 100,000 bid me. At 100,000, come on. 80,000. 80,000. 80,000. No VAT. Start me. 80,000, come on. At 80,000 now. At 80,000, ladies and gentlemen, bid me now. At 80,000 now, come on. At 80,000, thank you, sir. At 80,000 now. 80,000, yeah. 85, bid me. Is that a bit? 80,000 on this side. 80,000 come on. At 80,000 now. At 80,000 bid me. 85, 85. At 85, 85 now. Op 85,000 come on. At 85,000 now. At 85,000. 90. At 90 online with truck and trailer. At 90,000 now. At 90,000 at 90,000 now. At 90,000 at 90,000 bid me now. At 90,000 now. 100,000 now. 95. At 95, 95, at 95. At 100,000 now. At 100,000 with truck and trailer. At 100,000 now, bid me. At 100,000, ladies and gentlemen, 105. At 105 now. At 105, bid me. At 105, at 105. At 105, at 110. At 110 with truck and trailer. At 110, at 110 now. At 110, at 110, at 110, at 110. At 120, at 120. 115, at 115 online with Meerkat, at 115 now, at 115, 15 at 115 now, but be 120, at 120 come on truck and trailer, but be 120 now, at 120, 20, but be 120 now, at 120 asking 120 now, 120, 20 is that a bit, sir, at 120 now, at 120, 20 at 120, 20 at 120, at 120 now, at 120, 20 at 120, but be 125, at 25, 25, at 125, at 120,000, are you all out? Are you all done? At 120,000, not sold at this moment. Lot number 27A, lot number 27A. It's a Samuel 100, ladies and gentlemen, 6x6 drop side with a crane, a 20-foot crane, ladies and gentlemen. It's in Heidelberg at this moment. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a VAT transaction, a VAT transaction, a VAT transaction, but it has all its papers. Ladies and gentlemen, start me now, what do you say? At 500, ladies and gentlemen, 500,000 now. At 500,000 now. At 500, but me now. At 520, 20, but me 520 now. At 520, 20, but me 520 now. At 520, 20 online, is that a bit? At 520 now. At 520, 20, at a 520 online. At 520, 20, at a 520, but me 540 now. At 540, 40, but me 540 now. At 540, but me now. At 540, 40, 40, is that a bit, sir? At 520 is online. At 520, 20, at a 520 is online now. At 520 now. At 520, 20, at a 520, but at 540 now. At 540, 40, 40, at a 540, but at 540 now. Are you all out and done? Ladies and gentlemen, not sold at this moment. Lot number 28. Lot number 28 is a Ford Ranger Super Cab XLT. Lot number 28, a Ford Ranger Super Cab XLT. It's a no VAT transaction, no VAT, and it has papers. No VAT, no VAT. Start me now, what do you say, ladies and gentlemen, start me. 80,000 now, at 80,000 with me, at 80,000 now, op 80,000, come on, 70 I'll take, at 70,000 now, at 70,000 with me, at 70,000 with me now, 70,000, come on, at 70,000 now, at 70,000 with me now, at 70,000 now, at 70,000, thank you, sir, at 70,000, yeah, at 70,000 on the floor now, at 70,000 now, at 70,000, come on, at 70,000 now, at 70,000 with me now, come on online, help me out here, at 70,000 on the floor, at 70,000 on the floor now, at 70,000 on the floor now. Are you all out and done? At 70,000 on the floor, ladies and gentlemen. STC for now. Just give us your buyer's number. 725. 725. STC for now. Lot number 29, a Ford Ranger, ladies and gentlemen. A 2.26 speed. A 2.26 speed single cab, ladies and gentlemen. Lot number 29, no VAT transaction, and it has all its papers. Ladies and gentlemen, 80,000, 80,000 is worth meerkat online. At 80,000 now. At 80,000, at 80,000, but me now. At 80,000, but me 85, 85. At 85, 85, yeah. At 85, at 85 now. At 85,000, come on. At 85,000 now. At 85, at 85,000 now. At 85, but me 90 now. Meerkat, come on. At 85,000 now. At 85,000, ladies and gentlemen, I all out and done. Is that a bet, sir? At 85, 85. At 85, at 85. At 85, 85. At 85,000 now. Are you all out and done, ladies and gentlemen? It's not sold at this moment. Lot number 30. Lot number 30 is a 2010 Tata 8-ton Toutliner truck, ladies and gentlemen. No VAT transaction. Has all its papers. 80,000 is with truck and trailer. 60,000 with truck and trailer, ladies and gentlemen. Start me at 60,000 now. At 60, better at 65 now. At 60,000 online. At 60,000, at 60,000 now. At 60,000, at 60,000 now. Come on. At 60,000, ladies and gentlemen, bet me now. At 60,000 now. At 60, 60, at 65. At 65, 5 at 65. At 65, 5 at 65. At 65,000 now. Come on. Come on, truck and trailer, bet me now. At 65,000 now. At 65 on the floor now. 65. At 65, 5 bet me. At 65, 5 at 65. At 65, 5 at 65. At 65, 5 at 65. At 65, 5 at 65,000 now. Are you all out and done, ladies and gentlemen? Not sold at this moment. Lot number 31. Lot number 31 is a 2004 Isuzu NPR refrigerator 4-ton carrier truck. A 2004. It has 201,000 kilometers on the clock. It's a no VAT transaction. It has papers. It has papers, but no VAT. Righto, ladies and gentlemen, start me when you say 100,000 now. At 100,000, ladies and gentlemen, be safe. At 100,000, ladies and gentlemen, bet me now. At 100,000 now. At 100,000, ladies and gentlemen, bet me now. At 100,000 now. 80,000, I'll take. At 80,000 now. At 80,000, 80,000 now. At 80,000, bet me 85. At 85, 5, 85. At 85, 5, 85, 5, bet me. At 85, 5, 85, bet me 90 now. At 90,000 now. At 90,000, anybody's money. Asking 90,000. Ek het 85, I've got 85,000 now. Are you all out and done? Is that a bit meerkat? 85,000 on the floor. Ladies and gentlemen, not sold at this moment.
31, give you a count here.
Dis die Isuzu lorry ook.
I'll take 90. Kan ek hom weer opmaak? Ja, want onthou ons truck and trailer, meerkat, maar wag het vir hulle sy.
Ons wag net gou vir meerkat. We're just waiting on meerkat.
Back on.
They back on. 90,000 is with you, sir. At 90,000 now. At 90,000 rand, come on. At 90,000 now. At 90,000, at 90,000 now. At 90,000 now. Are you all out and done? At 90,000. Can we just have that buyer's number, sir? 90,000. STC for now. Buyer's number 728. 728. That's on the Isuzu refrigerator truck, ladies and gentlemen. 31A, 31A, 31A. It's in Heidelberg, ladies and gentlemen. A 2004 Hino 10176 6-ton truck, ladies and gentlemen. 2004 model. 500,000 kilometers on the clock. No VAT transaction. Has papers. It's in Heidelberg. Heidelberg. Righto, ladies and gentlemen, start me now. 200,000 now. At 200,000. Ladies and gentlemen, bet me now. At 200,000 now. At 200,000, bet me now. At 200, bet me now. At 200,000 now. At 220. At 220, 20, at 220 now. At 220, 20, at 220 now. At 220, 220,000 now. At 220, 20, at 220 now, bet me. At 240 now. At 240, 40, bet me 240 now. At 220 is on the floor. At 220 now. At 220. At 220, bet me 240 now. Come on. Are you all out and done, ladies and gentlemen?
I'm sorry if you...
Not sold at this moment.
Sorry.
Lot number 32. Lot number 32 is a Toyota Dyna 4-ton drop side. A Toyota Dyna 4-ton drop side, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 2004 model. It got 202 kilometers on the clock. No VAT transaction, has papers. No VAT, has papers. 202,000 on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. Start what you say. At 80,000 now. Up 80,000 rand, ladies and gentlemen, 80,000 now. At 80,000, 80,000, but me now. At 80,000, come on. At 80,000, 80,000 now. At 80,000, 80,000, but me. At 80,000, make it 85. At 85, 5, 85. Is that a bit 85? At 85, 5, 85. At 85, 5, 85. At 85, 5, 5 on the side. At 85,000 now. At 85, but me. At 85, but me, 90,000 now. Anybody's money. At 90,000, thank you, sir. At 90,000, yeah. At 90,000, but me. At 90,000, at 90,000, but me now. At 90,000, now you all out and done at 90,000. 90,000. 90,000 rand. Can we just have your buyer's number?
Sorry.
Buyer's number is 720. STC for now. We'll talk to you afterwards. 90,000. Ladies and gentlemen, lot number 33. Lot number 33 is an Iveco truck, ladies and gentlemen. A 430D axle. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a 2012 model. It got 70,000 on the clock, ladies and gents. It's a VAT transaction. It's a VAT transaction. A VAT transaction. It has its papers. It has its papers. Ladies and gentlemen, start me. What do you say? At 200,000 now. At 200, ladies and gentlemen, with me now. At 200 now. At 220. At 220, 20, at 220 now. At 220,000 now. At 220, 20, at 220 now. At 220, but me 240 now. Asking 240, but me. At 240 now. At 240, but me now. Coming online. At 240 now, but me. At 240, 40, but me 240 now. At 240,000, but me now. At 240 now. At 240, but me now. 240, ladies and gentlemen, but me. At 240 now. At 240, but me now. 240, ladies and gentlemen. At 240 now, thank you, sir. At 240 now. At 240, 40, at 240, but me. At 260 now. At 260, come on. Make it 260. At 260 now. At 260, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 260 now. At 260, ladies and gentlemen, anybody's money. At 260,000 now. At 260,000 now. Are you all out? Are you all done? At 260,000, ladies and gents. It's not sold, unfortunately, at this moment. Lot number 34. 34 is a cat grader. A cat grader 140G. Cat grader. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a VAT transaction. A VAT transaction. But it has no papers. No papers. Ladies and gentlemen, start me. 600,000 now. Who's it? 500, I'll take. At 500, thank you, sir. At 500 now. At 500,000 now. At 500, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 500, come on the line. At 500,000 now. At 500,000 now. At 500, but me. At 500,000 now. At 500, ladies and gentlemen, is that better? At 550, is that 550? Thank you, sir. At 550, but me now. At 550, 50, at 550 now. At 550, 50, at 550 now. At 550, at 550 now. At 500,000, come on. At 600 now. At 600,000, but now. At 600,000 on the floor now. At 600 on the floor now. At 600 on the floor now. 650, asking 650, come on. At 600 on the floor, ladies and gentlemen. 600,000 at 650. 650 now. At 650 there. 650, 700. 650 over there. At 650. At 650. At 650, are you all? 675, thank you, 700 now. 675,000, bid me 700, come on. At 700, bid me now. What do you say, sir? At 700 now. 675,000. Are you all out and all done? 675. Can we just have your buyer's number, sir? 728. It's STC for now. STC. Lot number 35. Lot number 35 is a Mercedes-Benz. It's a Mercedes-Benz truck, ladies and gentlemen. It's a Mercedes-Benz Actros 2645D axle, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 2018 model. 2018 model. It has 826,000 kilometers on the clock. It's a VAT transaction. And it has all its papers. Ladies and gentlemen, start me what is a 400,000 now. At 400,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 350, I'll take. At 350 now, come on. At 350 now. At 350, start me. At 350 now, thank you, sir. At 350, but me 400,000 now. At 400,000 now. At 400, thank you, sir. At 400 now, but me. At 450 now. At 450, but me now. 450. At 400,000 on the floor. At 400,000 is on the floor now, ladies and gentlemen, but me. At 450 now. Asking 450,000. It's a Mercedes-Benz, ladies and gentlemen. Asking 450, thank you, sir. At 450, 450 now. At 450,000, come on. At 450,000 now, you're all out and done. No more. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not sold, unfortunately, at this moment. Come talk to us afterwards. Lot number 35A. 35A is a Mercedes-Benz 18,000 liter water tanker. It's in Heidelberg. It's a 1988 model. It's a VAT transaction and it has papers. Ladies and gentlemen, start me now. What do you say, ladies and gentlemen? Start me. At 300,000 now. At 300,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. On that water tanker, ladies and gentlemen, but me. At 300,000, but me now. 300,000, near we say. At 300,000 now. Is that 300,000 now. At 300,000, thank you, sir. At 300 now. At 300,000 the side. At 300,000 now, pay out here. At 300,000, 320. At 320, 20 is at 320, thank you, sir. 340. At 340, 40. At 340 now. At 340 there. At 340, 40. At 340 there. At 340,000. At 300, 360. Make it 360. 340 is my bet already. At 340 now. At 340. At 340 now. At 340,000. Are you all out? Are you all done? At 300. Is that a bet? It's 360. Is that a bet, ma'am? 360. 350 I'll take. At 350 now. At 350, thank you, ma'am. At 350 now, bet me. At 350, at 350, yeah. At 350, 50, at 350 now. At 350,000 now. At 350,000 now. At 350,000, are you all up and done? At 350,000. It's the one in Heidelberg. Heidelberg, a water tanker in Heidelberg. 340. Can I go back to my previous one? 340,000, all out and done. Not sold at this moment. Ma'am, we are now at this one. Okay. It's a Toyota I know 700. 10 cube stipper. 10 cube stipper number 36. Ma'am, can I start you with that 350? Can I start you on 350? At 350,000 we say. At 350 now, but me. At 350, but me now. 350, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 350 now. At 350,000, are you all? Is that a bet? At 350. At 350, thank you, ma'am. At 350 now, but me. At 350, 50. 350 yeah, at 350, 370 now, at 370 now, at 370, 370 with me now, at 370 now, at 370, 370 now, at 370 are you all out and done, at 400,000, thank you sir, at 400,000, come on, at 400,000 are you all out and done, at 400, help me out with the small one. 400,000, at 400,000 with me, at 400,000 now, are you all out and done, ladies and gentlemen? 410. I'll take a small one. Okay. It's not sold at this moment. Come talk to us. I have 400,000. Come talk to us afterwards. Not sold at this moment. Anybody's money at 500,000 now, at 500, ladies and gentlemen, bet me now, at 500 now, at 500, yeah, at 500, bet me now, 550, at 550, thank you, sir, at 550, 50, at 550 now, bet me, at 550, 550, 50, at 550, bet me 600,000 now, at 600, thank you, sir, at 600,000 now, at 600,000 now, you all out and now, at 650, thank you, at 650 now, at 650, 50, at 650 now, at 650,000, 650,000, are you all out? And all done. It's not sold at this moment. We're a little bit short on that one. Lot number 38. Lot number 38. Is this truck, ladies and gentlemen? It's a Nissan UD440. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a 2022 model. 2022 model. It's basically brand new. 320 kilometers on the 3,020,000 kilometers on the clock. That transaction has papers. Lot number 38. Lot number 38. It has 320,000 kilometers on the clock. That transaction has papers. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you say start me? 500,000 now, at 500,000, ladies and gentlemen, bet me now, at 500,000 now, at 500, ladies and gentlemen, anybody's money here, at 500,000 now, come on Meerkat, at 500,000 now, at 500,000 online now, at 500,000 is with Meerkat now, at 500, bet at 550 now, at 550, 50, bet me 550 now, come on, at 550, ladies and gentlemen, bet me now, at 550, thank you sir, at 550, 50, 50, at 550 now, bet me, at 550, 50, at 550 now, at 550,000 rand, come on, at 550, 550,000 now, at 550,000, ladies and gentlemen, are you all out and done? At 550,000, are you sure? Ladies and gentlemen, not sold at this moment. We think a little bit more of this truck, ladies and gentlemen. We're just going to move over to the next line, ladies and gents. The next lot is number 38A. 38A, and it's in Mokopane. It's in Mokopane. It's a case 580 Super LE 4x4 TLB. It's a non-runner. It's a non-runner. It needs a back diff. The engine is included, but it needs a back diff. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a over transaction. 38A. It's a no VAT transaction and it's in Mokopane. Ladies and gentlemen, start me now. What is a 120,000 now? At 120, 20, at 120, but me now. At 120, 20, at 120 now. At 120, 20, at 120, but me now. At 120, 20. 120, at 120, 20, at 120, at 120, at 120, at 120, but at 130, at 130 now, at 130, at 130 now, but me, at 130, ladies and gentlemen, I all 130, at 130, at 130, Lot number 39, a T-Rex TC210LC 20 ton. Ladies and gentlemen, it got almost 11,000 hours on the clock. No VAT, no papers. It's a T-Rex, ladies and gentlemen. T-Rex. Start me now. 300,000. Up 300,000. Come on, at 300,000 now. 250 I'll take. Come on, 250 now. Anybody's money. Anybody. Come on, at 26, but me 28 now, come on, at 28,000 now, but me, at 28,000 now, at 28 now, but at 30 now, at 30, 30, but me 30 now, at 30, 30, come on, truck and trailer, but me 30 now, at 30,000 now, 28 is on the floor, at 28,000, yeah, at 28,000, come on, at 28,000 now, at 30, thank you ma'am, at 30 now, 30, but at 32 now, but me, at 32, 2, but me. At 32 now, at 32 is online now, at 32, 232, at 32, 232, at 32 is online, at 32, at 35, 535, at 35, 5, but be 37 now, at 37, come on, at 35 over there, at 37, but be, at 37 now, at 37 now, at 37, but be, at 37, come on, at 35 is over there, at 37, but be now, at 37, but be now, 37, at 37, but... I'll take 36. At 36 now. At 36 is on the floor. At 36, but it's 37 now. At 37 now. 37 now. At 37, but be 38 now. At 38, come on. It's $1,000. It's not even one bag of groceries. 38, 37, but me 38. At 38, 37. But it at 38 now, come on, at 38,000 now, at 38,000 but me, at 40,000, thank you sir, at 40 now, 40, 40, at 40,000 now, at 40, 40 but me now, at 40 now, but it at 42, at 42, 2 but me, at 42, 2, at 40,000 there, are you all out? At 45, 45, 5 and a 45 there, at 45, 5 and a 45, at 45, they said at 45,000 now, I'll help you with the small one again. At 45,000, once and twice, all out and done, and sold. Buyer's number 726. 726. We appreciate. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, lot number 41. Lot number 41 is a 2002 Polaris 500. It's running. It just needs a new drive belt, but if you buy it, we'll provide the drive belt. A 2002 model, no VAT, no papers. Ladies and gentlemen, pit me, what is A50? At 40, 40, 40, at 40 now, 40, 40, at 40,000 now, at 40, 40, better at 45, come on, at 40,000 you get your vote, at 40,000 but at 45 now, at 45, come on, at 45, 5 but me, at 45, 5 at 45, at 45, 5 but me now, 45, thank you sir, at 45, 5 but me 50 now, at 50,000 ladies and gentlemen, come on, at 50,000 but me now, at 50, 50, at 50 online, at 50, 50, at 50, 50, 50 is with truck and trailer, at 50,000 now, at 50, 50 but me 55, at 55, 5 but me, at 55, 5, 50,000 is online, at 50,000. 50, at 50 now, at 50, 50 is online, at 50, 50 but me now, at 50,000 are you all out and done? At 50,000, truck and trailer, 50,000, 55, thank you sir, at 55. At 55, come on, truck and trailer, make it 60 now. At 55 is on the floor. At 55, 5 out of 55. 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 Are you all out and done? Online, are you out? 55,000. STC for now. Sir, can we just have that buyer's number? 725. 725 STC for now. We'll confirm with you afterwards. Lot number 42, 41A, 41A, ladies and gentlemen, is a cat 438B, 4x4 TLB. It's a non-runner. It needs a back diff, but the engine is included. It's a no VAT, no papers. It's in Mokopane. Start me, ladies and gentlemen. What do you say? 150 now. 150,000, ladies and gentlemen, bid me. At 130, I'll take as well. At 130, bid me 130 now. At 130, bid me 130 now. Come on. At 130,000 now. At 130, bid me now. 130, ladies and gentlemen. Are you all out and done? Not sold for this moment, ladies and gentlemen. Just put him out. Lot number 42. A big boy 4x4 quad, ladies and gentlemen. No VAT, no papers. Ladies and gentlemen, start me. 20, 50, at 15,000, ladies and gentlemen, but now. At 15,000, but me. At 15, raise that on 10, come on. At 15,000, come on. At 15,000, anybody's money now. At 15,000, 10. I'll take, I've got 14 online. At 14,000 with me, now. At 14, negative 14,000 now. At 14, negative 14,000 with Meerkat online now. At 14,000 now. At 14,000, come on, bet me 15. At 15,000, asking 15,000, come on. At 15 with truck and trailer. At 15,000 now. At 15,000, bet me now. At 15, negative 15,000, bet me 16 now. Come on, Meerkat. At 16,000 now. At 16,000 with Meerkat now. At 16,000, bet me now. At 16, negative 16,000, yeah. At 16,000 online with Meerkat. At 16,000, ladies and gentlemen. Are you all out and done? 16,000 with Meerkat. Can I have that buyer's number? 5042. 5042. STC for now. STC for now. Ladies and gentlemen, lot number 43. Lot number 43. Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes-Benz, it's a 6-cube tipper, ladies and gentlemen. No VAT, with papers. How much online? 130 with truck and trailer. At 130 now. At 130, 130, bet me 140 now. At 140, bet me 140, 140 now. At 140, 140 now. At 140, 140, bet me 150. At 150, 150 now. At 150,000, bet me 160 now. At 160, come on. At 160 with truck and trailer. At 160 now. At 170, thank you, sir. At 170 now. At 170, 170 now, bet me. At 170 over there. At 170 now. At 170, 170 now. At 170,000 now. Are you all out and done? 170,000. 170,000. Thank you, sir. All out and done. 170,000. Buyer's number 707. Whoa, stop. 170,000 sold. Thank you, sir. Then we got a lot number 44, Landini 125, Power Farm 4x4 tractor, no VAT, with papers. It's just the tractor, not the slasher. Only the tractor, ladies and gentlemen. Lot number 44, it's only this Landini tractor. Ladies and gentlemen, start me now. What do you say? 200,000 now, bet me. 180 I'll take. At 180 now. At 180,000, bet me. At 180, bet me. 180 now, coming online. At 180 now. At 180, Manyaravi say. At 180, ladies and gentlemen, bet me now. At 150,000, I'll take as well. At 150 now. At 150, bet me. 150 now, anybody's money. At 150,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 150,000, ladies and gentlemen. At 150, thank you, sir. At 150, 50, 150, but me now. At 150, ladies and gentlemen, 150,000 rand. All out and done. At 100, at 160, 160, thank you, ma'am. At 160 or 160 now, all out and done. On 160,000 now, all out and done, no more. STC for now. Can we just have your buyer's number? Buyer's number? 730. STC for now.
Ja. Ja, ja.
Lot number 44A is a Mercedes-Benz bullnose drop side non-runner. It has no engine. No VAT, no papers, and it's in Mokopane. Ladies and gentlemen, start me what do you say, ladies and gentlemen, 40,000 now. At 40, 40, put me 40 now. At 40,000 now, 40,000 rand, come on. At 40,000, 40, 40, put me 40 now. 40,000, anybody's money. At 40, 40, 40, put me now. At 40, 40, 40, thank you, sir. At 40, 40, 40, I got a 40,000 now. At 40, 40, 40, put me now. At 45, I'll say. At 45, 5, 45. At 45, anybody's money. Ladies and gentlemen, not sold at this moment. Then that slasher behind the Landini tractor, the slasher behind the Landini tractor is lot number 45. No VAT, ladies and gentlemen, no VAT transaction. What do you say, ladies and gents? Start me, what do you say? 10,000 now. At 10, 10, but me. At 10,000, but me 10 now. At 10,000, thank you, sir. At 10, 10, I got a 10,000 now, 15. At 15,000, but me. At 10,000 now. I've got 10,000, but me 15 now. Come on, I'll take 2.5. At 2.5, but me. At 2.5 now, I'll take 12. Is that a bit, sir? 10,000 is with me. At 10,000, got a 10 days around. Come on. At 10,000, come on online. At 10,000 now. At near. 12.5. At 12.5 now. At 12.5, yeah. At 12.5 on my left-hand side, ladies and gentlemen. At 12,500 rand. Come on. At 12.5 now. At 12.5 at 12.5, yeah. At 12.5, 15,000 now. Or 15 days and come on. At 17.50. At 17 days and 520 now. At 2020, get a 20 now. At 2020, make it 25. At 25, 5, 20. 20 is over there. 25, 22. At 22, 222. At 21 days and run. Come on. At 22,000 now. At 22, make it 25. That's a Doomson for 25. 22,000 here. At 22,000, make it 25. 25,000. STC for now. Just give us your buyer's number, please.
Right, laat hom gaan. 22. Ja.
Okay. Sold 719 for 22,000 to 719. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. $46 is a 2011 Toyota Hilux 3-liter D4D. Ladies and gentlemen, it comes with rails as well. It has 176 kilometers on the clock. No VAT, no papers. It's for the farm, a Plaas bakkie. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you say? Start me now at 100,000, we say 80,000 I'll take. At 80,000 now. At 70 is online with Meerkat. At 70 now, 70, 70, but me 80 now. 80, thank you, sir. At 80,000 now. 80,000 on the floor, but me. At 80,000 now. At 80,000, come on, Meerkat. At 80,000, I've got 80 now. At 80,000 now. 80,000, come on. At 80,000, but me. At 80,000 now. At 90. At 90 is a truck and trailer. At 90,000 now. At 90,000 is a truck and trailer now. 90,000 now. At 90,000 but me. At 90,000 come on, make it 100,000 now. At 90,000 with truck and trailer. At 90,000 now. At 90,000 is at 95 with Meerkat. At 95,000 now. At 95,000, come on, make it 100,000 now. At 100,000 now. At 150, 100,000 now. At 100,000, thank you, sir. At 100,000 there. At 100,000 now. At 100,000 but me 110 now, come on. At 110, 10 but there are 110 now. Asking 110,000 now. Are you all out and all done at 100,000, ladies and gentlemen? All out, all done. It's not sold at this moment.
105. 105.
105 on Meerkat, 105 now, at 105 but me, at 105 now, at 105 at 105 but me, 110, at 110 asking 110, come on, at 110, 10 but me, at 105 is online now, at 105 is with Meerkat, at 105, at 105 at 105, at 105 at 105, at 105 but me, 110, come on, at 110, 10 but at 110, help me out, yeah, at 110, 10 but me, at 110, 10 at 110 but me, at 110. STC for now. Can we just have that buyer's number of Meerkat?
5042.
5042. Thank you, Meerkat. STC for now. Lot number 47, a GWM Steed, ladies and gentlemen. 209,000 kilometers on the clock. No VAT, has papers. Start me, warrior say 60, 50. At 50,000 now, at 50,000, start me at 50,000, come on. At 50,000, 50, better at 50 now. At 50 now, thank you, sir. At 50, 50, at 50,000, but me now. At 50,000, but me now, 50. At 50, 50, at 50,000, yeah. At 50, 50, at 50,000, but at 55. At 55, 5, but at 55. At 55, 5, thank you, sir. At 55, 5, at 55. At 55, 5, at 55. At 55, 5, at 55. At 55,000, come on. At 55,000 now. At 55,000 now. All out and done at 55,000, ladies and gentlemen. Not sold for now. Lot number 47A. 47A. It's a cement brick plant. A cement brick plant. 20-meter conveyor. Capable of producing 20,000 bricks per day. Stock bricks and maxi bricks, ladies and gentlemen. It's a VAT transaction. It's a no VAT transaction, ladies and gentlemen. Start me, what do you say, 50,000 now. At 50, 50, but me 50 now. At 50, 50, and 50 with Swift now. At 50,000, and 50,000, but me. At 50, 50, but me 60 now. At 60, thank you, sir. At 60, come on, Swift now. At 60,000, but me. At 60, 60, and 60,000 now. But me 60, come on. At 60. 55 is on the floor, but me 60. At 60, 60, but me 60 now. At 60,000, come on. At 60,000, come on, help me out here. At 60,000, but me now. At 60,000, come on. At 60,000 now. At 60, 60, 60,000, thank you, sir. At 60 now. At 60, 60, 65. Is that a bit? At 65 with truck and trailer. At 65, 5 65. At 65 with truck and trailer now. At online 65,000. At 65, 5, come on. At 65,000 now, but me. At 70,000, come on. I'm asking 70,000 now, but with Swift here. At 70,000 now. At 70,000, come on. At 70,000, but me. At 70,000 now. I've got 70,000. I got a 700,000 rand there. Come on. At 70,000 now, but me 75. At 70,000 now. I'll take 72 as well. At 72, 2, but me. At 70,000 online with Swift here. At 72, come on, truck and trailer. At 72, but me now. At 72,000, but me. I've got 70,000 with Swift here online. Swift weer, vra asseblief baie mooi vir 80,000. 80,000 en is julle se. Asking 80,000 and you can take it. No VAT, no papers, 80,000 and it's yours. Swift weer, asseblief praat mooi. 80,000 and it's yours. No VAT, no papers. STC for now. Skulk, just take that buyer's number. STC for now. Lot number 49. Lot number 49. Electric concrete mixer. Electric concrete mixer. Ladies and gentlemen, if you just want to all move over to that side in the corner, all the loose stuff is over there. Just move over, please.
Skalk, vat 'n keer foto's as almal so mooi op die bak staan en opvul asseblief.
Chap. Dis vir jou Facebook.
Ek het gekyk vanoggend.
Ja. Jy gaan Facebook stop.
Ek is besig om my professionele blad te bou. Kyk, maar as hier by 80%, 75% ja, die vloer staan stil, hang toe op haar.
Dit is dan nou even nie hand opgestel.
Ja, ek sal raai. Ek sal oorgaan. Ja, as hy sy hand opsteek kan
Daar nie van hom kan gee.
Ja, ek moet net hand opsteek.
Ja.
Wat's dit?
Moet ek afklim of staan ek maar net hier bo?
Jy kan nog steeds hier bo staan. Ja, dit sal baie goed staan.
Ladies and gentlemen, lot number 49. Lot number 49. It's an electric concrete mixer. It's a VAT transaction. Ladies and gentlemen, start me. What do you say? 2,000 now. Oh, Jerry's around a minute. Come on. At 2,000 now. At 2,000 now, but me. At 2,000 now, but me. 2,000 now. Oh, Jerry's around it. Come on. At 2,000, but me. Anybody's money at 2,000 now. 1,500 I'll take. At 1,500, but me. At 1,500, but me. 1,500, come on. At 1,500, but me now. At 1,500, but me. At 1,500, thank you, sir. At 1,500, at 1,500, but at 1,750 now. At 1,750, but me now. At 1,750. At 1,750, thank you, sir. At 1,750 now. At 1,750, 2,000, thank you, sir. At 2,000 this side, 2,25 now. At 2,25, I got a 2,25 now. At 2,25, I got a 2,25 now. At 2,25, I got a 2,25 now. At 2,250. At 2,250 now. At 2,250 rand. At 2,250. At 2,000, but at 2,500. 2,25 is here. At 2,25 now. At 2,25, I got a 2,25 now. At 2,25, I got a 2,25, I got a 2,25, yeah. At 2,25 now. At 2,25. At 2,250. Are you all out and done? At 200, 250, 2,250. Thank you, sir. Sold to buyer's number 725. 725. Lot number 50. A mobile cutting torch setup. A mobile cutting torch setup. Lot number 50. VAT transaction. Start me 5,000, we say. At 5,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 5,000 now. At 5,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me. At 5,000, but me. At 5,000 now, anybody's money, yeah. At 4,000, I'll take. At 4,000 now. At 4,000, at 4 days, thank you, sir. At 4,000 now, at 4,500. At 4,500, but at 5. At 4,500 now, but me 5. At 5,000 now, come on. At 5,000 now, be out here. At 5,000, but me. At 5,000 now. At 5,000 now. At 5,000, at 5 days, thank you, sir. At 5,000, but at 5,500. At 5,000 now, come on. At 5,000 now. At 6,000 now. At 6,000, at 6 days, come on. At 6,000 now. At 6,000, at 6 days. At 6,500. At 6,500, but at 7 now. At 7,000, come on. At 7,000, make it 7 now. I've got 6,500 on my left-hand side. At 6,500 now. At 6,500 at 6,500, but at 7 now. At 7,000, come on. At 7,000 now. At 7,000 at 7,000, thank you, sir. At 7,000 at 7,000, come on. At 7,000 now. At 7,000 now. At 7,000, make it 7,500. At 7,500, but at 7,500 now. At 7,250. At 7,250.
7,750.
Ek het 7,000 daar. 7,750. At 7,750 now. At 7,750, but at 8,000 now. At 7,750. Are you all out and done? At 7,750. Once and twice. And sold. Buyer's number 717. Lot number 51. Petrol concrete mixer. Petrol concrete mixer. That transaction. Ladies and gentlemen, start me when I say 3,000 now. Oh, 3 days around the minute, come on. At 3,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 3,000, but me. At 3,000 now. At 3 days around the minute, come on. At 3,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 2,500, I'll take. At 2,500, but me. At 2,500, but me. 2,500 now. At 2,500 now. At 2,500, but at 3. At 3,000 now. Oh, 3 days around it, come on. At 3,000, yeah. At 3,000 is not your bid, sir. 3,250, at 3,250, 3 and a quarter now. I've got 3 and a quarter now, 3 and a quarter, but at 3,500, at 3 and a quarter, yeah, at 3 and a quarter, but at 3,500, at 3,500, at 3,500, but at 3,750, at 3,750, come on, at 3,750, your bid now, at 3,750, at 3,750 now, at 3,750, what do I do? At 3,750, can I take 3,750 with you? 3,750, 3,500 is on this side, at 3,500 now, op 3,500 rand. Are you all out and done? Ladies and gentlemen, we're a little bit short on that one, not sold for now. Lot number 52. Lot number 52 is a pump with an electric motor. A pump with an electric motor, no VAT. Ladies and gentlemen, start me. 4,000, be safe. At 4,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 4,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 4,000 now. At 4,000, I'll take. At 4,000 now, but me. At 4,000, ladies and gentlemen, anybody's money now. 3,000. At 3,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 3,000, but me now. At 3,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 3,000 now. At 3,000, ladies and gentlemen. Anybody? 3,000. 3,000. Next one, not sold at this moment. Lot number 52A is a 2013 GRW semi-refrigerator trailer. It takes 30 pallets. It's in Heidelberg. It's a truck trailer, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 2013 GRW semi-refrigerator trailer. It takes 30 pallets. It's a 2013 model. It's a VAT transaction. And it has papers. It's in Heidelberg. Start me. At 200,000 now. Up 200, they said on to, come on. At 200,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 200,000, but at 180, I'll take. At 180 now. At 180, thank you, sir. At 180 now. At 190,000, come on. At 190,000, but me now. At 190,000 now. At 190,000 now. 190. At 190. 200, at 200 now, at 200, thank you, at 200,000 now, up 300, they said on to, come on, at 200,000, but at 210 now, at 210, at 210 now, at 210, come on, Mercard, at 210, at 210 now, at 210, at 210, at 210 now, at 210,000, at 210,000. Are you all out? Are you all done? Mercard is julle uit, at 210,000. Skalk. Just get that buyer's number over there, please. It's not sold at this moment. STC. Lot number 53, Turf King. A 750 lawnmower. Ladies and gentlemen, no VAT. Start me, what do you say? He had 5,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. 9. At 9,000 and 9,000 rand, come on. At 9,000 and 9 now. At 10, make it a 10 now. At 10,000, thank you, sir. At 10, 10 and 10,000 now. At 10, 10 and 10,000, but me now. At 10,000, come on, Mercard. At 10,000 now. At 10, 10 and 10 now, 11. At 11,000 now. At 11,000, come on, Mercard, make it 12. At 12,000, asking 12,000 now. At 11,000 on the floor. At 11,000 on the floor now, come on. At 11,000 on the floor. At 11,000 on the floor now. At 12,000 now. At 12,000 at 12,000. Come on. At 12,000 but at 30 now. At 12,000 now. Are you all out? Are you all done? At 12,000 and sold. Buyer's number 717. Thank you, sir. Lot number 54. Lot number 54 is a Nissan F200 forklift. It's a non-runner. A non-runner, and it's a VAT, no VAT transaction. Ladies and gentlemen, start me.
Wat een is dit?
It's the blue one over there. It comes with an engine, but it's not running. It's the blue one, ladies and gents. Start me now, what is say 8,000 now? Hop, 8,000 run a bit me now. At 8,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 8,000, but at 9. At 9,000 now. At 9,000, ladies and gentlemen, bit me now. At 9,000, I've got 9 now, make it 10. At 10,000, asking 10,000 now. Hop, 10 days and run to anybody's money now. At 10,000, ladies and gentlemen. Anybody's money at 10,000. 10,000. It's not sold for now, ladies and gents. Lot number 55. It's a Heister forklift, ladies and gentlemen, non-runner, no VAT. Start me 5,000 now. Hop, 5,000 rand, come on. It's the orange one over there. At 5,000, yellow one. It's the yellow one. At 5,000 now, start me. At 5,000, ladies and gentlemen, bet me now. At 5,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 5,000 now. At 5,000, better than 5 now. Hop, 5,000 rand, come on. At 5,000 now. At 5,000, ladies and gentlemen, bet me now. At 5,000 now, you're all out and done. 5,000. It's not sold for now. Lot 56 is a Toyota forklift. The engine is complete, but it's a no runner. It's the orange one, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, start me now. What do you say? Start me. At 10,000 now. At 10,000, but at 10,000 now, bet me 10. At 10,000, ladies and gentlemen, I'll take 8,000 now. At 8,000, come on. At 8,000, ladies and gentlemen, bet me now. At 8,000 now. Op 8,000 rand, dames en heren, wie sê? At 8,000 now, start me 5. At 5,000 now. Op 5,000 rand, dames en heren, wie sê? At 5,000, ladies and gentlemen, are you all out and done? At 5,000, anybody's money. 5,000. Not sold for now. Lot 57, assorted industrial pipe fittings, including vents, tees, and valves. No VAT. Righto, ladies and gentlemen, it's for the whole pallet. You can take the whole pallet. Lot number 57. Start me, what do you say? Decent rand, come on. At 1,000 now. At 1,000, here we say. At 1,000, but at 1,000 now, come on. At 1,000 now. At 1,000, but me. At 1,000 now, start me 500, I'll take. At 500 now. At 500, ladies and gentlemen, anybody's money. At 500 now. At 500, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 500 now. At 500 now, thank you, sir. At 500, I got a 500, but at 600 now. At 600, make it 7. At 700 now, you're all out and done. At 700, not sold for now, ladies and gents. Then lot number 58 is pipes with valves. Same thing, it's a pallet next to it. Lot 58. Online, do I have a bit there? Start me, 500 we say. At 500 random near, come on. At 500 now. At 500, ladies and gentlemen, bet me now. At 500 now. At 500, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 500 now. At 500, anybody's money. At 500 now. At 500, ladies and gentlemen, anybody's money. Help me out here. At 500 now. At 500. 500. Not sold for now. Lot 59 is a go-kart buggy. A go-kart buggy, ladies and gentlemen. No VAT. Ladies and gentlemen, start me, what do you say? 5,000 now. At 5,000, bet me now. At 5,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 5,000 now. At 5,000, ladies and gentlemen, help me out here. At 3,000 now. Up 3 days and run to, come on. At 3,000 now. I've got 3,000, ladies and gentlemen. I all out and done at 3,000 now. Up 3 days and run, meneer, as julle seker. At 3,000 now, but me. At 3,000 now. At 3,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 3,000, at 3,500 now. At 3,500, at 3,500 now, but at 4. At 4,000 now. At 4,000, but at 4,500. At 4,500 now, come on. At 4,500 now. At 4,500, but at 5. At 5,000, help me out here. At 5,000 now, but me. At 5,000, come on. At 5,000, but me now. At 5,000, 4.5 is on the floor. At 5,000 now. Are you all out? At 5,000 now. At 5,000, yeah. At 5,000, at 5,000, but at 5.5. At 5.5, but at 6,000 now. At 6,000, come on, sir, help me out, yeah. At 6,000 now. Up 6 days and run to, come on. At 6,000, but at 6,000 now. At 6 days and run to, come on. At 6,000 now. At 6,000. 6,000 at 6,500, at 6,500, at 6,500 now, at 6,500, yeah, at 6,500, but at 7 now, at 7,000, come on, at 7,000 now, help me out, yeah, at 7 now, 7 is not a bit, at 7,000 now, at 7,000, I've got 7, make it 7,500, at 7,500 now, at 7,500, but at 7,500, op 7,500 rand, at 7,500, make it 7,500, I've got 7,000, make it 7,500. At 7,500, but at 7,500 now, help me out here. 7,1. At 7,1,1, I got a 7,1, yeah. At 7,1. At 7,1, yeah. At 7,1, yeah, but at 7,2. Are you all out and done? Op 7,100 rand, once and twice, and sold. 728. Buyer's number is 728. 728. Ladies and gentlemen, at lot number 59A, we've got a ready-mix concrete batching plant with steel structures, fully automotive, producing curbing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a VAT transaction. Is there anybody interested in this? Online, anybody interested? It's a ready-mix concrete batching plant, ladies and gentlemen. It's the whole plant. Talk to us afterwards if there's anybody that's interested in that. Come talk to us afterwards. Ladies and gentlemen, lot number 60. Ocean brand refrigerator, no VAT. It's electric and gas. Ladies and gentlemen, start me what you say, ladies and gentlemen, help me out here. At 1,000 now, bet me. At 1,000, ladies and gentlemen, at 1,000 now. At 1,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 1,000 now, at 500, I'll take. At 500 now. At 500, thank you, sir. At 500 now, bet me. At 500 now. Op 500 rand, helemaal klaar. Op 500 rand. All out, all done, and sold. Buyer's number 725. 725. Lot number 61 is an air compressor, ladies and gentlemen. No VAT. Start me what you say, ladies and gentlemen, help me out here. At 1,000 now, bet me. At 1,000 now. At 1,000, help me out here. At 1,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 500 now. At 500, I'll take. At 500 now, come on. At 500, ladies and gentlemen, help me out here. At 500 now. At 500, ladies and gentlemen, are you all out? Do you guys ever get flat tires? Ladies and gentlemen, start me 500 and come on. At 500 now. At 500, ladies and gentlemen, are you all out and done? Not sold at this moment. Lot number 62. Another air compressor. Anybody? 1,000. At 2,000 online. At 2,000 now. Up 2 days and running at 2,000 with truck and trailer now. At 2,000 now. Are you all out and done? At 2,000 now. Once and twice. And sold. Thank you, truck and trailer. Can I have that buyer's number, please? 5011. 5011. Thank you, truck and trailer. Lot number 62A is a Yamaha quad. A Yamaha quad, no VAT, no papers. Ladies and gentlemen, is the blue one over there. Ladies and gentlemen, start me now. What do you say? 5,000 now. At 5,000, 5,000, thank you, sir. At 5,000 now. At 5,000 and 5,000 nog steeds hy bot now. At 5,000 now. At 5,000, ladies and gentlemen, between 5,500. At 5,500, come on. At 5,500, thank you, Mirka. At 5,500 now. At 6,000, bet me. At 6,000 now. Op 6,000 rand, come on. At 6,000 now. At 6,000 and 6,000 rand, come on. At 6,000 now. At 6,000, Mirka, help me out here. At 6,500 now. At 6,500 and 6,500 there. At 6,500 and 6,507 now. At 7,000, come on. At 7,000 and 7,000 now. At 7,000, ladies and gentlemen, I all out at 7,000. Op 7,000 rand, ladies and gentlemen. I all out and done at 7,000. Prize number 725. Just mark it STC for now. STC for now. Ladies and gentlemen, lot number 63. National Luna Refrigerator, ladies and gentlemen. No VAT, no papers. Ladies and gentlemen, start me now. What do you say? 1,000 now. Lot number 63. 1,000, ladies and gentlemen. I 1,000 now. At 1,000, come on. At 1,000 now, between 1 and a quarter now. At 1 and a quarter, anybody's money. At 1,000 over there. At 1,000 now. At 1,000, I all out and done. At 1,000, ladies and gentlemen. Once and twice. Sold. Buyer's number 725. 725. Lot number 63A. 63A is a Bosch dishwasher, ladies and gentlemen. For the newlyweds, a dishwasher. Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, start me now. What do you say? 1,000 now. At 1,000, ladies and gentlemen, bet me now. At 1,000 now. At 500, I'll take. At 500 now. At 500 over there. At 500, I got a 500 there. At 500, bet it at 750 now. Come on. At 500 over there. Are you all out and done? At 500. Once and twice. And sold. Buyer's number 725. Lot number 63B, a Whirlpool washing machine. No VAT. How much is that truck and trailer? 1,500. At 1,500 or 1,500 or 1,500 now. At 1,500 is online now. At 1,500 or 1,500 or 1,500, but at 2,000 now. Come on. At 1,500, I'll take 1,750. At 1,500 is online. At 1,500. At 1,500 or 1,500 or 1,500 online. At 1,500 online. At 1,500 or 1,500 or 1,500 now. Are you all out and done? At 1,500, once and twice, and sold to truck and trailer. Buyer's number 5080. Thank you, truck and trailer. Lot number 64, a pipe bender with fittings. A pipe bender with fittings, no VAT. Ladies and gentlemen, it's in a very, very good condition. Ladies and gentlemen, start me now. What do you say? 5,000 now. At 5,000, ladies and gentlemen, bet me now. At 5,000 now. At 5,000, 5 days and around here. Come on. At 5,000 now. At 5,000, ladies and gentlemen, bet me now. At 5,500, bet me. At 3,000 now. Come on. At 3,000 now. At 3,000, ladies and gentlemen, at 3 days and around here. Come on. At 3,000 now. At 3,000 now. Are you all out? All done. Ladies and gentlemen, all the attachments is with that machine. Come on. 5. 3,500, thank you, sir. At 3,500 at 3,500 now. At 3,500 at 3,500 at 3,500 now. But at 4,000, come on. At 4,000, bet me. At 4,000 now, anybody's money. At 3,500 over there. At 3,500. Are you all out? All done. Buyer's number 725, STC for now. Ladies and gentlemen, lot number 65. A 12-meter container office. Is the green one there behind all of you? It's that container office, ladies and gentlemen. What do you say? Start me. 40,000 now. At 40, put me 40 now. At 40, put me 40,000. Come on. At 40,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 40,000 now. At 40, put me 40 now. 35 I'll take. At 35, 35. At 35, 5 at 35 now. At 35, 5 at 35. At 35, 35, 40 now. At 40 now. At 40 now is online. At 40, at 40 now. At 40, at 40 now. 44. At 45 now. At 45, 5 at 45. At 45, 5 at 45. At 45, 5 at 45. But at 50 now. At 50,000, come on. At 50, thank you, sir. At 50, at 50 now. Come on, truck and trailer now. At 50,000 now. At 50,000, come on. At 50,000, help me out here. At 50,000, make it 55. Asking 55,000. Are you all out? Are you all done? At 50,000. Ladies and gentlemen, not sold for now. Ladies and gentlemen, lot number 66. Lot number 66 is 1 6-meter container. It's a white container over there, ladies and gents. It's a 6-meter container. Ladies and gentlemen, warriors, are you start me now? At 20, at 20, 20, 20, but at 20 now, 20,000, come on. At 20, days around the say. At 20,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 20, 20, 20, at 20 now. At 20, thank you, Mirka. At 20, 20, at 20 now. At 20, 20, at 25. At 25, 5, at 25, but at 30 now. At 30,000, come on. At 35, at 35, 5, 35, make it at 37 now. At 37 now, help you with a small one, make it 40 now. At 40, 40, but at 40 now. At 40,000, come on. At 40, 40, thank you, sir. At 40,000, at 40 days around the 40. At 42, 242, yeah. At 42, 42, 42, make it 45. At 42, yeah. At 42, 42, but at 45. At 45, 5, 45. At 45, 5, 45. At 45,000 over there. At 45,000. 45. 45. Look at me, I'll take 47. It's a small one. It's not even a bag of groceries. At 45,000, I all out and done and sold. Buyer's number, sir? Buyer's number 651. 651, 45,000. Lot number 66A. Okay, lot number 66. Is a 2019 Caterpillar 140k grader with a ripper. It's a 2019 model, ladies and gentlemen. It got 13,000 on the clock, 13,000 hours. It's a VAT transaction and it has papers. Start me now, 1 million, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 1 million now, start me. At 1 million, negative 1 million, negative 1.1. At 1.1, negative 1.1, bet me now. At 1.1, come on, Mercat. At 1.1, negative 1.1, bet me now. At 1.1, negative 1.1, negative 1.1 now. At 1.1 million now. At 1.1, negative 1.1 million. At 1.1, negative 1.1, negative 1.1. At 1.1, negative 1.1 million now. Ladies and gentlemen, we are a lot short on this one. If you're interested in this one, come talk to us afterwards. It's a very well looked after grader, ladies and gentlemen, and it's a almost brand new. Lot number 67. A Daewoo mini excavator. It's a VAT transaction, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you say? Start me 100,000 now. Up, 100,000 rand. Come on. At 100,000 now, bet me. At 100,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 100,000, 100,000 now. At 100,000, bet me. I get 90,000 online. At 90,000 online. At 99, I get 90,000 now, but at 100,000, come on. At 90,000 is online now. At 90,000 is online. At 90,000, at 90,000, bet me. At 90,000, bet me 100 now. Asking 100,000, come on. At 100,000, bet me now. At 100,000, at 100,000 now. At 100,000 now is online. At 100,000 now. At 100,000, at 110. At 110, 10, at 110 with truck and trailer. At 110, 10, at 110, at 110, at 110 now. At 110, at 110, at 110, at 110 now, but at 120. At 120, 20, but me. At 120, 20, but me 120 now, come on. At 120, 20, but me 120, help me out here. At 120, 20, at 120 now. At 120, 20, at 120, at 120, at 120 now. At 120, at 120, but me 130 now. At 130,000 now. Anybody's money at 130,000. Ladies and gentlemen, not sold at this moment. Lot number 68. A Yamaha Grizzly Quad. A Yamaha Grizzly Quad. No VAT, no papers. I've got 28,000 with Meerkat. At 28 now, but at 30 now, come on. At 30,000, thank you, sir. At 30, 30, I got 30,000, but me now. At 30, 30, come on, Meerkat now. At 30,000, got 30 now, but at 32, 2, got 32. At 32, 2, got 32 with Meerkat. At 32, but at 35. At 35, 5, at 35, but me now. At 35, at 35, at 35, at 35,000 now. At 35, 5, at 35 now. Oh, 5 and down, stays around it, come on. At 35,000 is on the floor. At 35, 5, at 35. At 35, but at 37 now. At 37 now, 40, 40, at 40 now. At 42, at 42, 2, at 42. At 42 there at the back there. At 42, 2, at 42, but me now. At 42,000, come on Meerkat, at 42,000 now, at 42,000 now, at 42, 242 with you there, at 42,000. Kyk gou hierso. Help me out, make it 50. You're at 42,000 now. Make it 50,000. I'll speak to them. I'll ask nicely. Okay, just mark it STC, buyer's number 725. 725, buyer's number 725. The last bid was 42,000. Lot number 69. A Yamaha YM240D tractor with the slasher. A Yanmar tractor with a slasher. I've got to, how much online?
45.
Yeah, I've got a 45 online with Meerkat now. At 45, 45, bid me 50 now. At 50,000, thank you, sir. At 50, 50,000 now. At 50,000, come on. At 50,000, bid me now. At 50,000, 50,000 rand, come on. At 55, 55. At 55, 55. At 55, 55,000 now. At 55,000, are you all out and done? At 55, 60. At 60,000 now. At 60,000, are you all out and done? At 60,000, ladies and gentlemen. All out and done, once and twice. It's not sold at the moment. Lot number 70, a 2011 Toyota D4D. A 2011 Toyota D4D, 4x2, no VAT, has papers. 100,000 online with Meerkat. At 100,000, but me 110 now. 110, 110, 110, 110 now. At 110, but me 120 now. Come on. At 110, 110, 110, 110 now. At 110, 110, 110, 110, but me 120. At 120, 20, 120, 120 now. At 120 with Meerkat. At 120, 20, 130 now. At 130, thank you, sir. At 130, 30, 130, but me 140 now. Come on. At 140, come on Meerkat. At 140 now, asking 140,000 now. At 140,000, we say. At 140, 140, thank you, sir. At 140, 40, make it 150. I'll take 45 as well. At 145, come on. 140 I've got here. At 140, 40, 140, yeah. At 140, 140, 140, 140, 140 now. At 140, 40, 140 now. Are you all out and done? Meerkat, are you guys out now? At 140,000. Not sold at the moment. We're a little bit short on that one. Ladies and gentlemen, lot number 71 is a Ford 2610 tractor. It's a 4x2 tractor, no VAT. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you say? Start me, what do you say? 60,000 now. At 60,000, Nera, come on. At 60,000, bet me. At 60,000, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, sir. At 60, 60,000 now. At 60, 65. At 65, 65, bet me 70 now. Llewellyn praat met daai man, bid it at 70 now. At 70,000, come on. At 70,000, bet me now. At 70,000, ladies and gentlemen, bet me now. At 65,000, bet me 70. At 70,000, come on. At 70,000 now. Look at me. Llewellyn. Praat met daai ou. Ek het 65, asking 70. At 70,000 now, asking 70,000, help me out. I'll take a small one, make it 67. I've got 65. At 65, 565. At 65, I'll take 67. I'll take 67, sir. At 67, 67,000 now. At 67, thank you, sir. At 67 now. At 67, but be 70 now. Are you all out and done? At 67,000 now, all out and done. Just take his number over there. It's STC for now. Just give me that buyer's number. 702 STC for now. Lot number 72. Lot number 72. 72 is withdrawn. We're at 72A. 72A is a 2009 DAF VLD 2175 automatic 65 bus seater. Ladies and gentlemen, start me what I say. 2009 model. It's a VAT transaction with papers and it's in Heidelberg. Ladies and gentlemen, start me 500,000 now. At 500, ladies and gentlemen, bid now. At 500,000 now. At 400,000, I'll take. At 400,000, anybody's money now. At 400,000, ladies and gentlemen, bid me now. At 400,000, anybody's money. Not sold for now. Lot number 73, a 2009 New Holland F200. It's a runner, but it has a transmission problem. It's a runner, but it has a transmission problem. It's a 2011 model. It got 9,100 hours on. It's a VAT transaction, and it has papers. Righto, ladies and gentlemen, start me now. What do you say? 300,000 now. Oh, 300,000 on the come on. At 300,000, ladies and gentlemen, bet me now. At 300,000 now. At 300,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 300,000 now, 250 I'll take. At 250, come on. At 250,000, help me out here. At 250,000, ladies and gentlemen, bet me now. At 250,000, help me out here. At 250, thank you, sir. At 250, 50, at 250 now. At 250,000 now, you all out and down, bet me 300,000, I'll talk. At 300,000, I'll ask him 300,000. The bid is 250. Not sold for now, ladies and gentlemen. Lot number 74, a 2004 Super Link trailer plus a 1600 crane plus a grab, ladies and gentlemen. A 2004 model VAT transaction with papers. Ladies and gentlemen, start me now. What do you say? 250 now. At 250,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 250,000 now, what do you say? Yeah. At 250,000 now, we say. At 250,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 250. At 250,000, ladies and gentlemen, help me out here. At 250,000, we say. At 200,000, I'll take. At 200,000, but me now. At 200,000, ladies and gentlemen, are you all out and done? Nobody. Not sold for this moment, ladies and gents. Lot number 75. Lot number 75 is a car trailer D-axle. Car trailer D-axle. It's a double axle, ladies and gentlemen. No VAT, has papers. 30,000 online with meerkat. Truck and trailer. At 30,000 now. At 30 with truck and trailer now. At 30,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now 35. At 35, 35, thank you, sir. At 35, but me 40 now. At 40, but me 40 now. Come on, truck and trailer now. At 40,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 40,000, asking 40 now. 40, but me now. At 40,000, ladies and gentlemen, are you all out and done? At 35,000, ladies and gents. It's not sold for now. Lot number 75A. Lot number 75A. Lot number 75A is a 2007 Iveco 22-seater bus, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 2007 model. It has 224,000 kilometers on the clock. It's a VAT transaction with papers, and it's in Heidelberg, ladies and gents. What do you say? Start me at 250,000 now. At 250, but me now. At 250,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 250. At 250,000 now. At 250,000, thank you, sir. At 250, 50, at 250, but at 260 now, come on. At 260,000, we say. At 260 now, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 260,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 260,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 260, thank you, sir. At 260 now. At 260, at 260, but me 270 now. At 270,000 now. Are you all out and done? At 260,000. Unfortunately, it's not sold for now, ladies and gentlemen. Just come talk to us afterwards, please. Lot 76. Lot 76. It's a Revaro front end loader, ladies and gentlemen. No VAT, no papers. Ladies and gentlemen, start me, what do you say? 200,000 now. At 150, I'll take. At 150,000 now, come on. At 150,000, ladies and gentlemen, bet me now. At 150,000, help me out here. At 150,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 150, thank you, sir. At 150, at 150, at 150 now. At 150,000 now, help me out here, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 150,000 now. At 150, at 160 now. At 160, at 160, at 160, at 160. At 160. It's a Revaro front end loader. A front end loader. I've got 160,000, make it 170. At 170, 70, but at 170 now. At 160,000, ladies and gentlemen. Are you all out and done? Not sold for now. Lot 77 is a 2000 tri-axle basket brick trailer. A basket brick trailer with a crane, with a grab, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 2000 model. It's a VAT transaction and it has papers. Start me. What do I say? 250,000 now. At 200 I'll take. At 200, ladies and gentlemen, bid me now. At 200,000 now, bid me. At 200,000 now, we say. Up 200,000, come on. 180 I'll take. At 180,000 now. At 180,000, ladies and gentlemen, bid me now. At 180,000 now. At 180 now. At 180,000 now, me out here. 185 I'll take. At 85.90 now. At 190, 190 now. At 190, 90, 190, but at 95. At 190 now. At 190, I all out and done. At 190,000, ladies and gents. We're a little bit short on that one. Not sold for now. Lot number is 77A. Is a 2006 Daisy AD20 18,000 liter water tanker. It's in Heidelberg, ladies and gentlemen. It is a VAT transaction. It has no papers and it's a 2006 model. Right, ladies and gentlemen, start me what do you say, 400,000 now. At 400,000, start me 350, I'll take. At 350 now. At 350, thank you, sir. At 350, at 350 now. At 350 now. At 350, at 350 now. At 350, ladies and gentlemen, help me out here. At 350,000, make it 360 now. At 360, at 360, make it 370 now. At 370, ladies and gentlemen, now what do you say? At 370 now. At 370, 370 now. At 370,000. Are you all out and done, ladies and gents? Unfortunately, it's not sold for now. Lot number 78 is a 2016 Fuso Canter, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 5-ton close body truck, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 2016 model. It has no VAT. It has all its papers. Ladies and gents, what do you say? Start me. 150,000 now. At 150, put me now. 130, I'll take. At 120 is fine. At 120, 20, go to 120 now. At 120,000, ladies and gentlemen, put me now. At 120, go to 120, go to 120, go to 120, go to 120 now. At 120,000 now. At 120, 20, go to 120, go to 120, but at 130 now. At 130, thank you, sir. At 130, 30, go to 130, go to 130, go to 130 now. At 130,000 now, put me. At 130, go to 130, go to 130, go to 130, go to 130 now. At 130,000 now, ladies and gentlemen. Are you all out and done? At 130,000, ladies and gents. Unfortunately, it's not sold for now, ladies and gents. Lot number 79. Lot number 79. It's a 2012 Isuzu, a 4-ton closed body truck, ladies and gentlemen. A VAT transaction, has papers. I've got 50,000 with Meerkat. At 50,000 now. At 50, 50, I got 50,000 now. At 50,000, ladies and gentlemen, bid me now. At 50, 50, I got 50, but at 55. At 55, 5, at 55, bid me 60 now, Meerkat. At 55 is on the floor now. At 55, 55, at 55, but me 60 now, come on. At 60,000, help me out online, yeah. At 60,000 with Meerkat now. At 60,000, got a 60,000, but me now. At 60,000, 65. Is that a bit, sir? At 65,000 now. At 65, 5, at 65. At 65, 5, at 70 now. At 70,000 now. At 70,000 on the floor. At 70,000, yeah. At 70,000 on the floor now. At 70,000 on the floor. At 70,000 rand. At 70,000 now. At 70,000 on the floor. Op 70,000 rand. At 70,000, are you all out and done? At 70,000, once and twice, and sold. Buyer's number 710. 710. Thank you, sir. Lot number 80. Lot number 80. A Chrysler Grand Voyager, ladies and gentlemen. Lot number 80. It's a VAT transaction and it has papers. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you say? Start me here. 70,000. 60. At 60, 60, but me 60 now. 55 I'll take. At 55, 5 at 55. At 55, 5 at 55,000 now. Op 55,000 rand, come on. At 55,000, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 55, 5 at 55. At 55, 5 at 55,000 now. Op 55,000, 60. At 60,000 now. At 60,000, come on. At 60,000, ladies and gentlemen, I all out and done. At 60,000 now. At 60,000, ladies and gentlemen, I all out and done. At 60,000, ladies and gentlemen, Once and twice. Unfortunately, it's not sold at the moment. 81 is withdrawn. We are at lot 81A. 81A is a 2022 Kia K 2700 2.5 ton drop side truck, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 2022 model, 131,000 kilometers on the clock. That transaction has papers and it is in Heidelberg. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you say? Start me now, 250, 200,000, I'll take. Up 200,000, come on. At 200,000, ladies and gents, help me out here. At 200,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 200,000 now. At 200,000, at 200,000, we're at 210 now. At 210, at 210, at 210 there. At 210, at 210, at 210, but me 220. At 220, 20, but me 220 now, come on. Is that a bit, sir? At 220, thank you. At 220, at 220, 20, at 220 now. At 220,000. Are you all out and done, ladies and gents? Is that a bit? Are you all out and done? It's not sold at this moment. Lot number 82. It's a Linhai T-Bore side by side, ladies and gentlemen. It's this one over here with the batteries on it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's in 110% working condition, ladies and gents. Start me, what do you say? No VAT, no papers. At 20,000 now. At 2020 with Mercat now. At 2020, at 20, at 2020, at 20, at 25. At 22 and a half. At 22 and a half, at 25. At 25, at 25. At 27.5. At 27.5 now. At 27.5, but me 30 now. At 30,000, come on. At 30, thank you, sir. At 30, I got already 30 now. 32 online. At 32, 32 online. At 32, 200. I got a 32, 232 now. At 32, 232, but me 35. At 35, 5 at a 35. At 35, 5 at a 35. At a 35. At 35, 5 at a 35. At 35, 35 now. Are you all out? Are you all done? At 35,000. Are you all out and done? At 37, at 37, 37 now. I've got 37,000 now. At 37, I got a 37 now. At 40 now. At 40, 40 online with Mercat now. At 40,000 now. At 40, 40, 40, I got a 40,000 now. At 40, 40, 40, I got a 40,000 now. You're all out and done. At 40,000, are you out, sir? Is that a bet? At 42. At 40,000. At 40 with Mercat. Are you all out and done? Once and twice. And sold. Buyer's number 5041. Thank you, Mercat. Lot number 83. Lot number 83 has been withdrawn. Lot number 84. Lot number 84 is a Hyundai H100 2-ton tipper. No VAT, no papers, and it's in Mokopane. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you say? Start me now, 70,000, yeah. At 70,000, ladies and gentlemen, what do you say now? At 70,000, thank you, sir. At 70 now, at 70,000, come on. At 70,000, at 75. At 75, 5, 75. At 75, 5, at 75. At 75, 5, 75, 80,000 now. Oh, 80,000, is that a bit, sir? Is that a bit? Come on. 85, 85, thank you, sir. At 85, 5, 85. At 85, 5, at 85,000 now. Are you all out? Are you all done? At 85,000. Unfortunately, we're a little bit short on that one. We'll just put him out for now. Righto, we are at lot 85. Lot 85, a 2015 Toyota Hilux 2.5 TDI is single cab, a 2x4 with a flat bed on it. It has a flat bed on it, ladies and gentlemen, with drop sides. It's in a very good condition, ladies and gentlemen. It has 470,000 kilometers on the clock. It's a no VAT transaction with all its papers, and it's in very, very good condition. Ladies and gentlemen, start me 100,000, we say. At 100,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 100,000 now, we say. At 100,000, come on, sir. At 100,000, at 110. At 110, at 110 now. At 110, at 110, at 110, at 110 now. Bet me 120. At 110, at 110, at 110, at 110, at 110 now. At 110, at 110, at 110, at 110, at 110 now. Bet me 120, what do you say? At 120, 20, bet me 120 now. Help me out here. At 110, at 110 now. At 110, 10, at 110, at 110, at 110, at 110 now. At 110, ladies and gentlemen, I all out and done. at 110,000. Unfortunately, we're a little bit short on that one. It's not been sold right now. Lot number 86. 86. A Mercedes-Benz 22 to 25 drill rig truck with a cat compressor. No VAT transaction with papers. Ladies and gentlemen, start me what I say. Just start that one for us, please. Lot 86. Righto, ladies and gentlemen, start me now. 400,000 we say. At 400, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 400,000 now. At 400,000, help me out here. At 400,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 400,000, anybody's money here. At 400,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 400,000 now. At 400,000. 400,000 now. Anybody's money? No one. Ladies and gents, unfortunately, we just put him out for a moment. Lot 87. Lot 87 is being withdrawn. 87 has been withdrawn. 88 is a 2007 Isuzu FVZ 1400T drill rig. Ladies and gents, it has a compressor and a 1100 by 300 rate 21 bar compressor. 2007 model. VAT transaction, has papers. Is there anyone that's interested in this one? Online or on the floor? Start me. At 1.5 now. At 1.5 million, ladies and gentlemen, help me out here. At 1.5 million now. At 1.5 million, at 1.5 million now, help me out here. At 1.5, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 1.5 million now. At 1.5 or 1.5, but me now. At 1.5 million. Anybody? Let him just pass by. It's not been sold. 89 is being withdrawn. We are at lot number 90. 90. Lot number 90. It's a car trailer. A car trailer. Ladies and gentlemen, start me now. What do you say? Lot number 90. 90. Start me, ladies and gentlemen, what do you say? 20. Start me 20,000 now. At 20, 20, but me 20 now. 20, 20, but me 20 now. At 20,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on, help me out here. At 20 now, 20, 20, but me 20 now. At 15,000, I'll take. At 15,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 15 days, I rendezvous say. At 15,000 now. At 15, 15, but me 15 now. At 15,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 15, 15, but me now. At 15,000, anybody's money. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not been sold. What? No. 15 online. At 15 online, I got 15,000 online. At 15, 15, I got 15 now. At 15,000 online. At 15, 15, bet me 20 now. I'll take 17. I'll take 17.5. At 17.5. At 17.5. 5 at a 17.5. At 17.5. 5 at a 17.5. Asking 20. At 20, 20, bet me 20 now. Come on. At 20, 20, bet me 20 now. 20, 20, bet me 20 now. At 20,000. Merkat, are you out now? At 20,000 now. Are you all out and done? Ladies and gentlemen, we're a little bit short. It's not been sold. Lot 91. Lot 91. A 2024 Cat 4x4 TLB. 1,300 hours on the clock. It's a 2024 model, ladies and gentlemen. It's brand new, ladies and gents. What do you say? Start me. 800,000 now. At 800,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 800,000 now. At 800,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on, help me out here. At 800,000 now. At 800, come on, 850 now. At 850, 50, 850 now. At 850, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 850 now. At 850, 850,000. 900, thank you, sir. At 900, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 900,000 now. Come on online. At 900,000 now. Up 900,000, ladies and gentlemen. Are all out and all done at 900,000. Ladies and gentlemen, we are a little bit short on that one. Come please talk to us afterwards. Lot number 92 is a Hino 700. A 10 cube tipper. Ladies and gentlemen, 80,000 kilometers on the clock. That transaction has papers. Ladies and gentlemen, start me what you say. At 700 now. At 700, ladies and gentlemen, come on now. What do you say? 300. At 300 now. At 300, at 350 now. At 350, make it 4. At 400 now. At 400,000 now. At 400,000, better at 450. Thank you, sir. At 450, make it 5. At 500, come on. At 500,000 now. At 500, help me out here. 500 now. At 500,000 now. Up by 4,000 rand, meneer. Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, at 500,000 now. Op 500,000. Allemaal klaar. Nobody more. 500,000. We just got to put him out for a moment. Come talk to us afterwards, okay? Thank you, sir. Lot number 93. A Volkswagen Jetta. VR6. It's a collector's item, ladies and gentlemen. It's a vintage car. It's a collector's item. Start me, what do you say? Ladies and gentlemen, start me 20, at 20, 20, at 25, at 25, 5, at 25, at 25, bet me 30 now, at 30, 30, bet me 30 now, 30,000, come on, at 30,000 now, at 30, 30, 30, at 30,000, bet me now, come on, Meerkat, at 25,000 now, at 25, 30, 30,000, 30, but sir, at 30 now, at 35, at 35, 5, 35, at 35, 5, bet me 40 now, are all out and done? It's not been sold. Come talk to us afterwards. It's a little bit short on the price. Come talk to us. Come talk to us afterwards, okay? Lot number 94. A 1992 Toyota Corolla Twickenham. At 20,000 online, at 20, 20, at 25, at 25, 5, 25, at 25, 5, make it 30 now, 30, 30, thank you, sir, 35, at 35 in front, yeah, at 30,000 now, at 30, but at 35 now, at 35, 5, 35, at 35, 5, at 35,000 now, 40, at 40, 40, at 40,000 now, 45, 5, 50, at 50,000 now, at 50, 50, at 50,000 now. Are you all out? Are you all done? At 50,000, ladies and gentlemen. We're a little bit short on the price. It's not been sold. Come talk to us afterwards. Lot number 95. We are going back up there, ladies and gentlemen. The rest of the stuff is back there. Ladies and gentlemen, please come up this side. Lot number 95 is next up. It's the green machine there in front. Ladies and gentlemen, just move up a little bit more. Righto. and gentlemen, lot number 95 up here. It's a 2023, a Bell. It's a SK220XD called Beko 20-ton excavator, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 2023 model. Look at that hours, ladies and gents. It only has 167 hours on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. It's a VAT transaction, no papers, ladies and gentlemen. Start me, what do you say? At 800,000 now. Hoppa, Gordijs, start me 600 now. At 600, ladies and gentlemen, bid me now. At 600 now, ladies and gentlemen, I all out and done it. At 650, at 650 now. At 650, 650 now, bid me. At 650 over there. At 650, 650, bid me 7. At 700 now. At 700, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 700,000 now. Are you all out and done at 700? It's brand new, only 167 hours, ladies and gentlemen. Are you all out and done? It's not been sold. We're a little bit short on that one, ladies and gents. Then lot number 96 is a 2025 model, a Tata 1518 EX2 8-ton drop side. Ladies and gentlemen, a 2025 model. It only has 10,000 kilometers on the clock. It's a VAT transaction and it has papers. Ladies and gentlemen, it's brand new, a 2025 model. Only 10,000 kilometers, ladies and gentlemen. Start me, what do you say? 500,000 now. At 500, ladies and gentlemen, bid me now. At 500, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 500,000 now. At 500, ladies and gentlemen, help me out here. At 500,000 now. At 500,000 now. At 525, I'll take. At 525, thank you, sir. At 525, at 525, but at 550 now. At 550, thank you. At 550, at 550 now. Op 550,000, 550,000. Are you all out and done? Not been sold, we're a little bit short. Lot number 97. Lot number 97. A class Select 455 farming 4x4 tractor. It's a VAT transaction and it has no papers. It's that green tractor over there. Ladies and gentlemen, look at that thing running, ladies and gents. Help me out here, start me. 80,000 now. Op 80,000, come on. At 80,000 now. At 80,000, ladies and gentlemen, bid me now. At 80,000, anybody's money. At 80,000, ladies and gentlemen, bid me now. At 80,000 now. At 80,000, thank you, sir. At 85 now, bid me 85. At 85, 85. At 85, here on my right hand side. At 85,000 now, bid me 90. At 90,000, come on. At 90,000, ladies and gentlemen, at 95 online. At 95 or 95 online now. At 95 or 95, bid me 100,000 now. At 100,000, help me out here. At 100,000, thank you, sir. At 100,000, come on, Meerkat. At 100,000 now. At 100,000 on the floor, bid me 110. At 110, I'm asking 110 now. At 110, bid me. At 110, asking 110,000. 110. At 105, I'll take. At 105, put me 110, back at you for 110 now. At 110, thank you, sir. At 110, at 110, at 110. At 110 is on the floor now. At 110, at 110, at 110 now. At 110, 10, at 110, at 110, at 110, at 110. At 110, at 110, asking 115. At 115, come on, Meerkat. At 115, asking 115. Asking 115, 115,000, help me. I'll take 112 as well. At 115. At 115, thank you. At 115, make it 120. At 120, 20, at 120, make it 120 now. 115 is with Meerkat. At 115,000 with Meerkat. Once and twice. And sold. Buyer's number 5004 is with Meerkat. Thank you, sir. We appreciate. Lot number 98. Lot number 98 is a 2012 Volvo FH380 10 cube tipper. Ladies and gentlemen, no VAT with papers. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you say? Start me 250 now. 250,000, ladies and gentlemen, come on. At 250,000, help me out here. At 250, thank you, sir. At 250,000 now. At 250, but at 260 now. At 260, ladies and gentlemen, come on. Is that a bit, sir? 260. At 260 now. At 260, ladies and gentlemen, help me out here. At 260,000 now. At 260, ladies and gentlemen, help me out. At 260. At 260, make it 270. At 270, 70, at 270 now. At 270,000 now. At 270,000, ladies and gentlemen. I all out and done at 270. Just put him out for now, ladies and gentlemen. We're a little bit short. Lot number 99 is a 2014 Doosan DX220A. Ladies and gents, it's a 2014 model. It has 10,000 hours on the clock. It's a VAT transaction with no papers. Ladies and gentlemen, start me 500,000 we say. Oh, 508. 450 is with truck and trailer. At 450 now. At 450, ladies and gentlemen, help me out here. At 450. At 450, get a 500,000 now. At 500,000, is that a bit sad? 500,000, thank you. At 500,000 now, 550. At 550 now with Meerkat. At 550 now. At 550, get a 550, 50, get a 550 now. At 550 is with Meerkat now. 600,000 now. At 600,000, make it 650 now. At 650, come on. At 650,000, help me out here. At 650, come on, Meerkat. At 650,000, bid me now. I've got 600,000 on the floor, bid me. 650. Asking online, asking 650,000. Are you all out? Are you all done at 600,000? Once and twice. Ladies and gentlemen, we're a little bit short on that one. It's not been sold at the moment. Lot number 100 is a 2011 Hino 300 drop side. It's 152,000 kilometers on the clock. No VAT, has papers. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you say? Start me now. 150. At 150,000, ladies and gentlemen, help me out here. At 150,000, come on. At 150,000, ladies and gentlemen, what do you say? Yeah. At 150, thank you, sir. At 150, at 150, at 150, at 150, 160 now. At 160, 170. At 170, asking 170 now. Help me out here. At 170 at the back there. At 170, at 170, at 170 now. At 170, are you all out and done? At 170,000, ladies and gentlemen. At 170,000, are you all out? Are you all done? We're a little bit short on that one, so it's not been sold. 101. 101. 101, ladies and gentlemen, is 2 Canon sprayers, ladies and gents. No VAT. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that 2 red sprayers over there. What do you say? Start me 1,000 now. Up, Yende's a run to, come on. 1,000, ladies and gentlemen, bid me. At 500 now. 500 I'll take. At 500 now, bid me. At 500 now. At 500, 750 now. 750, bid me 1,000 now. At 1,000 now. At 750 now. Bid me 1,000, come on. At 1,000 now, asking 1,000. At 1,000, Yende's a run to donkey. At 1,000 now. At 1,700. Make it 1 in the quarter now. 1,250. 1,000's over there. At 1,000's over there, ladies and gentlemen. Are you all out and done? At 1,000, buyer's number 725, sold to buyer's number 725. Lot number 102 is 2 battery chargers. 2 battery chargers. Ladies and gentlemen, start me 1,000 now. Op 500 rand, sal ek vat nou wat sê now. At 500 now. At 500, ladies and gentlemen, it's 2 battery chargers. Righto, start me now. At 500, ladies and gentlemen, 300 I'll take as well. At 300, bid me now. 300, come on, sir. At 300 now. At 300, ladies and gentlemen, bid me now. At 300 now. Are you all out and done? 300, bid me. 300 rand. At 300 with truck and trailer now. At 2,000 with Meerkat. At 2,000 now. At 2,000 with me. With truck and trailer, 2,000 at 2 rand, come on. At 2,000 now. At 2,000, bid me 2 and a quarter now. At 2 and a quarter, what do you say? At 2 and a quarter, bid me now. At 2,000 now. Are you all out? Lot number 102. Is that still a bid? At 102. Righto, gents, it's lot number 102. It's the 2 battery chargers. The 2 battery chargers. Anyone? At 300 now. At 300, ladies and gentlemen, over 300 rand, anybody's money. At 300. 300. Is that a bet? 300 rand, nobody is not being sold. Lot number 103. Lot number 103. Isuzu D-Max Canopy. No VAT. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a white one over there. Start me what I say, 10,000 now. At 10,000, ladies and gentlemen, start me 8,000. Come on. At 8,000 now. Op 8,000. At 4,000 online. At 4,000 now. At 4,000. 4,000 rand, come on. At 4,000, at 4,000 now. At 4.5, at 4.5, at 4.5 is on the floor. At 4,500 now, make it 5. At 5,000 now. At 5,000, come on online. At 4,500 is on the floor. 5,000, thank you, sir. At 5,000 of 8,000 rand, come on. At 5,000, at 5,000 of 8,000 rand, we say. At 5,000 now. At 5.5, at 5.5, but be 6,000 now, come on. Op 5,500 is online. 5,500 is online now. But me 6, at 6,000, thank you, sir. At 6,000 now. Op 6,000 rand, wat maak ek nou? At 6,000, but me. At 6,000 now. At 6,000. We're just going to market STC for now, sir. Can we just have your buyer's number, please? We'll talk to you afterwards. 651. 651, market STC. Ladies and gentlemen, lot number 104. 104, NP200 canopy. NP200 canopy, no VAT. Ladies and gentlemen, start me, what do you say, 5,000, bid me. 3 I'll take, at 3,000 now. Hop 3,000 rand, ladies and gentlemen, bid me now. At 300 now. At 300, ladies and gentlemen, bid me now. 3,000 now. At 3,000. At 2,000 with meer cut. At 2,000 now. At 2,000 at 2.5 now. At 2.5 is on the floor, bid me 3 meer cut, come on. At 3,000, at 3,000 now, 3.5, make it 4. At 4,000 meer cut, help me out here, make it 4,000 now. Asking 4,000 meer cut. I've got 3,500 on the floor. Are you all out? Are you all done? Meer cut, are you guys out? At 3,500. Once. Twice. It's not been sold, ladies and gentlemen. Just put it out for a moment. Ladies and gentlemen. Start lot number 105. Lot number 105 is a big boy scrambler, ladies and gentlemen. A big boy scrambler, ladies and gentlemen. No VAT, no papers. What do you say? Start me. Listen to that bike there. Start me. What do you say? 5,000 now. Hope 5,000 run. Come on. At 5,000, 4,000 I'll take. Help me out here. 4,000. I'll take 4. At 4,000, help me out here. Come on. At 4,000, but it at 4 now. At 4,000. But it at 3,500. I'll take 3,500. That's as low as I can go. 3,500. At 3,500, but me now. At 3,500, ladies and gentlemen, but me now. At 3,500, are you all out and done? At 3,500. 3,500. Anybody's money? It's not being sold. Lot number 106. Lot number 106. Is that cattle trailer, ladies and gentlemen? Lot number 106. 106. It's that cattle trailer over there. I've got 2,500 with meerkat. At 2,500, but me 3 now. At 3,000, but me now. At 3,000, I got 3 days around with truck and trailer now. At 3,000 now, but me 3.5. Come on. At 3,000 now. At 3,000, help me out, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, meerkat, make it 3,500. At 3,000 now. Of 3,000 rand. 3,000 truck and trailer. What do I do? At 3,000 of 3,000 rand with truck and trailer. I've got 3,000 online. And sold at 3,000 to truck and trailer. Can we just have that buyer's number? 5080. Then, ladies and gentlemen, that's all from my side. Thank you very much. I'm just going to hand over to Chris here. There is one lot still available. It's this Toyota Bakkie. I'm just going to give over to him. It's this green Toyota Bakkie over here. I'm just going to give the mic over to him. Thank you all today for coming out.
Thank you, Pietman. That was a good auction. Everyone come this side. We've got a nice bakkie here. Julius, come start this bakkie quickly. We left the best for last. This bakkie. Come start it. Onze mooiste is gelos vir die laaste. Here we go. It's a Toyota. I think it's about 1994. 1994 model, 2Y motor, the best you can buy. There we go. Got papers, no VAT. Let's see. Let's start on 100,000. Do we have 100,000? Well, give me an offer. Give me an offer. Give me an offer. Yeah? 20K, 20,000, I got now 20,000. At 20,000 now, 20,000 now, 25 now, 25. At 25, 25 now, 25 now, 30. 30 now, 40, I got 40,000 there. At 40,000 now, 40 now, 45. 45, I got 45, I'll take 50. At 45 now, 45. At 45, I got 45, 45 now. I'm al klaar, 45. I'm al klaar. Do I hear 50 anywhere? Do I hear 50 anywhere? We've got 45. I'll take 47 and a half. That's a quarter. I've got 45 there. What's your number? What is your number on 45? Sold number, STC. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And that was the auction. We thank Pietman. That was a good auction. Thank you, Pietman. Thank you, Broukor, Meerkat, and...